All right, welcome back, everybody. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. We made it. We made it to Super Bowl Sunday when COVID started. Fuck COVID and all it stands for. We're coming in hot and heavy at the
Yes.
beginning. No COVID brain. We're good.
The fog is cleared. Steve is now wise again.
Well, there's still fog there, but did go to Oakwood. There's always fog.
Yeah.
That never really
like the smog in LA. We have the fog from being a comet.
It was the chicken manure, I think, they put in the cornfields.
Either that or that pasture that the linemen had to practice next to of the cows. Could have
Or the
been.
sand.
Yes.
You want to hear a funny story? Start this off.
Here we
Hot
go.
and heavy. Hot and heavy.
So my senior year, I thought I was pretty hot shit. So we go out to practice, and we go like down by where that pasture is, down the end.
You forget, Brad. I was there probably.
I know. But so we go around, and the farmer back there is like letting those cows out. And I was like, Suey! And then it got real quiet, and he was like, that's pigs, dumbass. Really started my senior year off really good.
Was that Gabe?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Dude, he's like the big time around here now, and me and him were in the FFA together. You know what the heck?
Good old FFA.
For people out there that don't know, FFA is Future Farmers of America.
No, it's not.
There's
Yeah,
people that don't.
Steve brings in the urban crowd.
Yeah.
No, there's people that don't know that up here. I say FFA, and they go, what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're from the city, Steve.
Suburb.
Yeah. Suburbish city.
I'm not Cook County. That's all that matters.
How close are you to your nearest Walmart?
16 minutes, 15 minutes.
City.
Then again, I mean, depending on how fast I go, I can be at the local Walmart in 25.
Wait, where's your closest Starbucks?
Oh, yeah. Because I bet you they don't even have Casey's where you live.
No, I think there's a Casey's in Plano, maybe. And Plano's about 30 minutes.
In every freaking town here.
No, you know what? I want to open one up here. It would change the world up here if the Casey's opened up.
No, they don't go for those yuppie territories. They go for them country boys who need their pizza and gas and beer all in one stop.
You know what's stupid, though? Like, Casey's never has the cheapest gas, but I have such crazy brand loyalty to Casey's. Like, I will end up in a Casey's and pay 3 cents more for gas.
And they have that freaking rewards thing. Like, I think I'm like $1.30 discount on a gallon of gas right now. And I'm just seeing how high it goes.
Well, like in St. Joe, you got the Casey's and that new gas station that opened up.
And everybody goes to Casey's.
It's only 2 gas pumps, and they're still going to go to Casey's. They're going to wait.
Yeah, that one's got like 3 sets of pumps, and that Casey's literally has 2 pumps, one on each side, and everybody's like people are waiting in line.
No, I think my favorite thing I've ever heard was I don't trust that other gas station because their pumps are too high tech. Because they have the little TVs.
Yeah, they start talking to you and running commercials.
Have you ever been in there, though? I've been in there one time, and they sell like cigars and stuff. Like when you walk in up front, it's like these boxes of cigars. I'm like, where am I? What the hell is this?
You know what really irritates me about St. Joe is so do you guys remember that one house that they tore down and now it's just this huge open lot right on 150?
I saw that when I was home.
That is zoned as residential. You can't put commercial there. You know how nice it would be to bring back like the Spartan Grill? I don't even know if you guys remember that because now it's China King. Okay, but there was a Spartan Grill. And so for like the Spartan Classic and stuff, because we'd get there at like 4 o'clock, and the Spartan Classic was like 32 boys track teams. So it was just freaking huge. And I would go over there and eat like a freaking burger and fries because I had enough time and my guts were iron back then that I could do that. And then so this is gonna, God, I probably shouldn't even say this, but one of our distance runners every year they had this huge Spartan window decal. And one of our distance runners took pride in peeling that bee off the window every year and would take it with him. Like a legitimate 2x3 foot Spartan decal. And you could somehow figure out a way to wiggle it. I would not be with him, but he would bring it back to camp and he'd be like, look what I got. And I'd be like, what the? You can't do that.
Nothing like a little petty vandalism. Like,
I mean, it's just a sticker.
no, you were talking about like going and eating just garbage before you go and compete.
Yeah.
I think about that now. Like, we used to have a game, and before the game, Jacob McLaughlin and I would get in his like shitty Suzuki, whatever the hell that thing was, and we would go to McDonald's. And we would get 2 McDoubles, a McChicken, and a large sweet tea each.
Yeah.
And pound it like 45 minutes before a football game.
Dude, can you think? I mean, the Oakwood truck stop, even having that within a game week was not good.
Do you remember, like, I remember so many people used to get those chocolate chip pancakes.
Oh, God.
That were huge. And it's like, okay, you're going to go into a coma before this football game.
Dude, you get a freaking a haystack in the morning, and if you weren't crapping by first hour, you didn't have a good haystack.
I was about to describe that. Like, if you felt good that day, you're like, I'm going to have this, and then about 10:30, nope, I'm done.
You really didn't feel good.
God, because like,
and then I always had ag class. So I'd just use the bathroom in there. That was a private bathroom.
Oh, PE with Coach Denhart, it was like, I'm going to go lay down in here. And if I use your bathroom, don't be coming in here.
And the bathroom in PE was terrible because at the boys' locker room is literally 2 urinals and a one-holer. And there was no wall, no break or anything. You're literally sitting there in all of your glory. If you had an emergency, there was no shame.
You just kick your feet out and people knew. Oh.
Or you like leave your practice jersey laying in the middle, like because the shower was right there. So then they knew the deed was being done.
No, my worst. Yeah, my worst post truck stop haystack emergency happened in pre-calc. And Steve, who's that teacher's name? What was that teacher's name? She was the cheerleading coach.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I can't. Anyway, I was in pre-calc, but then I was her TA the next hour, and like 15 minutes of class left. We're doing stuff that one is above my pay grade. Like I suck at math anyway, so I'm sitting there like rocking back and forth. Like, is this
vestibular stuff to make you calm down?
No, it was more like I don't know if I stand up. Like, I was wearing like my athletic shorts that I was going to wear to the game. So I was like, if I shit my pants right now, I'm going to have to drive home before the game. And so like class got over and I just sat in my Lambert. Class got over and I sat in my seat. And she's like, are you going to go back to the TA area? And I was like, nope. No, I'm not. And I sat there for 45 more minutes.
Did any of you guys ever do this? So my senior year, I decided I was going to save all of my passes and use them on the last day you could use them. So I go down. Did you guys have home ec?
Yeah.
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 Was Thornton still your teacher?
Yep.
So I'll never forget this. So Mrs. Thornton was the bomb.com, man. She taught me how to make a homemade cherry pie. And she was like, that's too sweet. And I said, that's perfect. So I'm sour. But so we're sitting there in first hour. And it's like the goal is to fill this pass book up by the end of the day. And so I walk up to her at the beginning of class and I set it up. I go, hey, Mrs. Thornton, I ate something really bad last night. And, you know, it's pretty bad. So if I ask, like, Can you let me go? And because I hadn't used any passes all year, it was okay. So I get up like 5 minutes into class, hand her the pass book, walk around the hallways or the hallway, walk down to the end of one floor. Yeah, the U. Then come back. I'd walk in the bathroom in case anybody was paying attention. Come back, sit down. 5 minutes later, get back up. Mrs. Thornton, can you sign my pass book? I really need to use the bathroom. And so the third time, so I do the same routine, come back. The third time, I looked at because I had two buddies that were sitting there at the table with me, and I said, I'm just going to get up and just run out. And she's going to look really confused and just sell it. And so they were like, okay, yeah, this would be hilarious. So I just get up and flip my chair backwards and just sprint out the door. And so my buddy, I said, what the hell happened after I left? And she said, is it that bad? And he was like, I just looked at her with a stone cold face and said, you have no idea.
Oh.
And so I did that in every class. And I think I only got like 2/3 of the way done because they were like, you're using all of these passes on the last day. And I said, got to use them or lose them, right? That got kiboshed about fourth hour.
Yeah. Well, it was my senior year. I think it was football season. I was stuck in French with Miss Ferdinand. Remember her?
Yes.
Okay, and she was cool. On like Fridays, she'd wear these cowboy boots and like clomp around. Arlen Kirst was sleeping in her study hall one time, and she tried to kick his desk and missed and kicked him in the chest with a cowboy boot. And like, she was really cool. Her and I got along pretty well. Well, we got into like kind of a real argument in class one day, and I was a little bit of a smartass, and I was like, that's fine. I'll just go to the principal's office then. She was like, no, you can't. And I was like, no, that's fine. I'll go to the principal's office. And I just took off and went and sat in Mr. Lee's office.
Dude, the things that you could get away, because like if you were a good kid, like they literally, I mean, you could do whatever really you wanted. And it was just like innocent pranks. Like the one prank we were going to pull that we never did there. And then we've got to start this show, because Oakwood. But
we lost some viewership when we said Oakwood.
Because my buddy worked on a pig farm. He was like a little farmhand, one of our FFA people. And he was like, dude, I'm going to bring 9 piglets. And we're going to number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then have them find the piglets. And then they wouldn't be able to find number 5 because number 5 didn't exist. But they'd be freaking out all day trying to find the pig. But
that is such a great idea.
I know, but we never did it because we were like, if the pigs start shitting in the school, then we're in trouble.
Yeah.
So
we almost had permission to take the Ronald McDonald from McDonald's and put it like in front of the door, like bolted down. Because Tanner Walsh and all of them worked there. And so they talked and they were like, we can get this done. Like, take it out. But then Mr. Lee and them found out. And so they stood at the door the next day, and we were like, shit. They just watched.
Somebody ratted.
Yeah.
Do you ever did you guys have Flapjack Fridays? Did that continue into your time?
Yeah.
You'd show up to school after the truck stop, and the kids who weren't on the football team were out in the parking lot making I think that actually started with my class.
It survived clear through my class.
Wow. And I mean, it literally like Flapjack Fridays, you were a football player. So not only did you just eat the greasiest food you'd ever ate, and then it was like they'd be making pancakes and you couldn't turn down pancakes.
God, so bad.
Dude, and I think now, like I just think of all of the, and I don't even really know shit, but all the stuff that I know now. And like, what if I would have known this then? Like when everybody says, would you take $1 million or like whatever, $50 million now and have it for the rest of your life? or go back to the age of 12 with the knowledge you have, oh, I'm going back to age 12. And I'm asking for Bitcoin for every goddamn birthday.
Nope. If I took because you're transplanting your brain into 12-year-old you, right?
Yeah.
I would be the saddest kid. Because at 12, like if you're transplanting me back to 16, sure. But like all the fun shit in my life has been ruined at this point. So like I don't want to ruin.
Yeah, but you think about it, it's like, oh, well, and my 12 years old is different than yours, right? Because the internet was just coming around at my 12 years old. So like, oh, hello, Amazon. Hello, Facebook. And I could have just been the head of every tech company. Like they're worried about big tech coming together. I could have been that.
Yep.
But why wouldn't you take that $50 million now and invest it in Dogecoin?
Because Dogecoin unless it's following the Marvel principles where if you throw one little thing out of the loop, it screws up everything. Steve, don't ruin it. Me and my wife have to watch WandaVision like either tomorrow or the next day because we watch it together. But so you don't say a word. But
they all die.
You pluck one thing out of it, and then it all like. Could you imagine buying Bitcoin like dollar for dollar? Oh, I got like 55 Bitcoins. Oh, that's only worth $38,000 as of this morning for one Bitcoin.
Well, did you hear about the guy? Because like Bitcoin, if you lose your password,
you're screwed.
Yeah, you can't get it.
And there's a guy that has like $15 million worth of Bitcoin, and he's on his last try on his password before it locks him out and deletes the Bitcoin.
That's why you only have like 3 passwords, and that's all you have in life.
Hell, I'm getting pissed because I keep forgetting my online banking password. And then I go to reset it, it sends me the password, and it still says it's wrong. How the hell does that even work?
Or when you get a new one, so you put one in, they said, can't use the password from last time. It's like,
Dude,
well, I was just typing that in.
Apple's the worst. Apple's the worst because they make you use a new password every time. There's like, no, we'll give you a year and then you can put it back to whatever. No, it's gone.
Yeah.
So you're really making up some stupid stuff for the App Store to certain point.
Yeah, to a certain point. Like I don't have any more life experiences to base this password off of.
Yeah. You're running through animals at this point.
I don't have any more dead pets. Like
shit. Well, looks like I'm just using my social security number at this point.
What could go wrong?
I'll use that for my bank account.
Jesus.
All right.
Should we actually get started now?
Oh, we haven't been recording at all.
I got 2 dogs, one on each side of me, and they're craving attention right now.
All I know is the highlight of my high school career was being Denhart's TA. That was the highlight for PE.
Oh, yeah. If you're a football player and you're Denhart's TA, that was
I got my ass chewed out because he had me go aerate the field on the 4-wheeler, and we got in trouble because I can't remember if it was Ludwig or somebody else drove by. What is he doing driving the 4-wheeler?
Dude, no. So he started that with like obviously as his first 3 years. I'd get on that 4-wheeler, I'd unhook the aerator and just do hot laps around the track. But I had never rode a 4-wheeler, so I didn't know how to kick it out of first gear. So I was literally just like, and I thought I was doing like big things, and this thing was about to blow up.
If it wasn't for Brad and his parents having the 4-wheelers and let me drive them, I wouldn't know how to do it. But I would. Yeah. I would try to do like wheelies and stuff with that aerator on there. Yeah. Maybe that's why I got in trouble. But that was because we had that new feel that they screwed up, so we had to aerate it even more.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're talking about dumb things that school spent money on.
Let's fix this crown. Oh, let's add more. Like,
well, what was messed up about the whole thing was, so one person came out and did the lay of it.
Yeah, and then another person
and did it for free because he thought it was under the assumption of, oh, it's I'm going to get this. They used his free labor and then used another company to crown the field.
Because then it was Owens' dad that did it for free, right?
I can't remember. I can't remember who it was. But they got crapped on. Well, that was like Brad, that year that I was a football coach for your team. They tried to not pay me after that year.
Oh.
Because a lot of promises got made there, and then you wouldn't find out till later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Yep.
You find out you're supposed to sign
I
paperwork.
got to write $450 check instead of $2,700 and whatever dollars. Or whatever it was at that point in time. Might have only been like 1,000. I don't even know. But it was definitely not. Oh, no, it's $1,500.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's why you sign your
They
life
said I
away.
wasn't approved by the board. And I was like, well, I didn't know this process. And Denhart was pretty upset about it.
That's why, at least up
Because
here,
how many practices did I miss?
Yeah.
that's why up here you always get.
I was your goddamn punching bag for a week too, which was a fun practice. Practices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brad, if you ever coach, make sure you get a letter from the school board saying we've approved your hiring.
Or at least look at the minutes.
Yeah.
Kind of important. I mean, that's public record.
That's every school I've coached at. They always send me one.
Really? See, I don't. I just pay attention to the minutes and
Like Charleston did, which I was in shock about. And then up here they do. They're like, oh, on this day, here's your stipend number.
I guess I should do that, but
I got my full basketball stipend on Friday. That was fun.
nice, buddy.
Because they pay you at once.
I get mine throughout the year, so it just gets factored into my paycheck, which is really nice. Thankfully, Westville does that, so you just don't get kicked in the nuts 3 times a year.
By taxes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I see this huge stipend. I'm like, great. And then they give it to me. And they're like, oh, but we charge you like $800 in taxes. And you're like, oh.
You had to pay for other people's health care, Steve. It's okay.
I had to use my own sick time for COVID. This is just another rabbit hole.
You had to pay for your job to pay you, Steve. That's what you had to do. Because, like, if you think about it, if you, like, pay, like, the local education taxes, it's like, how about I just take a $300 deduction from my paycheck and give it to you, and then I don't have to pay the education tax.
I'm paying you to have the power to hire me to pay me. Don't you worry.
Oh, the systems we have in place.
Well,
they're all broke. Any thing is just broke. Me and Brad talked about that the other night too.
Yeah, like I was talking the other day, like I got offered a adjunct faculty position to go back and teach at SIU. And I was talking to my parents about it, and they're like, well, would you leave your current job? I was like, no, because at this point I've vested in a pension and a matching 401k.
Oh, shit.
And like the chances of me ever drawing Social Security, zero.
So like retiring.
Yeah, like I have zero trust in the systems that be. So I've just kind of planned my own retirement.
That's what you got to do.
And in reality, like if the VA, the government pension system goes belly up, like I'll still be okay. Because
here's what pisses me off is we're still paying 10% of our check into TRS, not knowing if it's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only fiscally sound. Like if it doesn't have any input, it's only good for like 3 months. And then the checks stop. One of our math guys was going over that. And he was like, you want to talk about if we don't have enough teachers, this thing will go broke quick.
Well, now that we're way off subject.
Yeah. Well, when sports go away, we can figure out how to fix the government. We've seen enough of what not to do.
And I'll tell you what the fix is. Nickel beer night. Government-wide.
And put your local... You just have that on save. And put your local politician through a table night. For like a donation of $250 or silent auction bid style. You might be able to get it for $5 at first because nobody knows about it. Like, you just get to put them through a table.
And it better be a heavy-duty table.
Yeah, I'm talking like one of the pay-per-view setups where like it's got the table on top of the table. By the time they hit the bottom, they've slowed down so much that the last table just doesn't break. And you watch their head and neck just go, ugh.
It'd be the best way to get turnover for our elected officials.
Oh, could you imagine putting some of those people through table? We can't talk about this. We'll probably
No, that should be the deal they make. They're like, listen, you get 2 terms. If you want a 3rd term, at the end of it, we get to put you through a table.
Could you imagine if somebody got up on a debate stage and had like a stack of tables and they're like, wonder what that's for, but you don't think anything of it. And then at the end, they have a mannequin dressed up like their opponent and they literally swanton bomb 30 feet off through all the tables onto their opponent.
At the end of the debate, Bill's Mafia comes out. Bill's Mafia shows up. All right, let's get going.
You hit him with a Macho Man Randy Savage, like flying elbow.
I'd vote for that dude.
Yeah.
Or that.
Hey, any press is good press, right?
Exactly.
Dude.
You want Super Bowl numbers? You add this to the debate. We'll get going.
And at the end, there will be oh man.
Nickel beer night thrown through tables.
Yes. It's about to be lit.
That should be a debate, if we're being honest. You should get each candidate lit up.
Just drunk off their ass.
Yeah. And that would keep...
Or a legal drug of choice. If they want to sit there and smoke a fine cigar and kick back, marijuana in certain states, whatever.
That should be... and it would keep the old people out of politics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At a certain point, like the minimum to be in this debate is 8 beers. And if your heart can't handle 8 beers, you probably shouldn't be the president.
You know what? We're fixing everything. I'm not gonna lie. I would watch that. Like I would DVR that. That would be a favorited and saved recording.
Absolutely.
We might do a live podcast there. We would just show up.
Or just every time that the person interrupts them, the person that interrupts them has to take a shot.
Yes. Gym Clear on deck. You have to take this shot of Gym Clear.
No. Fireball. We got to keep it tacky.
Yes. Fireball, and it's not even good beer. It's Keystone Light.
Extreme or something. I'm sure we could get Keystone to come up with some shittier beer than what they already have.
Or Natty Ice.
Natty Ice.
And they have a keg. Like, it isn't even like a glass of beer. They have to drink it just straight from the keg.
Talk out of churn, you have to do a cake stand of Natty Ice for 10 seconds.
Yes.
That's the problem, though. These old guys, they can't hold themselves up.
If you can't do it, you're done. You can't be here. Yeah. You can't
go to
be in politics.
Where all the hippies are at.
I feel like the rabbit hole we're going down is exactly how the dude off Idiocracy became president. You know what I mean?
Macho Camacho.
Yeah.
Terry Crews.
It's what the plants crave.
If you can't handle it, you have to go live with JB. You have to live with JB without toilets.
What the hell was that?
Oh, it was like Gatorade.
Yeah, but it was Brondo.
Yes.
Brondo. I didn't even have to look that up.
It's what the plants crave.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like water from the toilet?
Yeah. God, that movie.
So fixed Illinois game day, fixed government. What else?
Definitely at least fix the debates.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've pretty much nailed it today, guys.
Good show.
And thank you all for tuning in for the next time. No, I've actually gotten light and hearted now. Before we were in like that little pre-show thing that we do where we try and talk about topics and then we stop because then it ruins the points. I was really fired up, and now I'm not as fired up, but I'll get fired up here in like 3 seconds.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Need to channel
it. Because everybody, we've got 4 watchers right now. We gotta
pick this up. Well, they're probably sitting here thinking, "Holy shit, these guys are geniuses." I would watch this.
All right, so we're going to contact Natty Ice for a sponsorship and get the debates going. That's what we'll do.
All right, here we go.
Get Barstool involved. It'll happen. Oh, did you guys see that boxing match?
Stupid. Jose Canseco is I don't know.
He took a dive, but did you hear he got $1 million
To
for
take
that?
a dive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it that much? Because I saw.
Honestly, I kind of like them like doing just basically like a tough man competition instead of all this professional shit.
Have
Like-
you ever watched one of those Rough and Rowdies?
They're crazy.
Yeah.
Those guys are nuts.
They're the peak of what like entertainment boxing can be.
Yes.
Because like it's cool to watch Floyd Mayweather because it's all technical, but at the same time, I like a guy named the Raccoon to come in a trash can and beat somebody up.
Or I eat ass. Oh my god, my face just went numb.
Oh God.
And when they come over with an overhand right, they have their wrist bent like this. They freaking just smacking each other. That's an open hand slap. Oh man, I'm almost purple.
Jacob McLaughlin, if you're listening right now, fuck you. Open hand slap. He knows
my
it's out.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, so
sorry
All right.
about Jose Canseco. I was like, oh yeah, that's another one.
oh Jesus. Now my eyes are all bloodshot. That was a laughing at. It's a good thing I got rid of those COVID lungs, Steve, or I'd have been hacking up a lung.
I know. I'm trying to take a deep breath here. I'm like, I'll fall to the ground here in a second. Brad's done. He was like, okay.
Oh yeah. I was thinking like we could have Dr. Biscuits and Coach Gravy or something like that. So we got biscuits and gravy. Coach Steve.
The ingredients of the haystack.
I'm back.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes, please.
Doesn't count. Open.
What if you have the glove on? The glove.
No.
Like slapping somebody with a pillow.
No, we were sitting before practice one day. You know, we had to huddle up all the time.
Yeah.
Jacob's senior year, we all huddle up, and I'm not paying attention. And he turns around and open palm smashes me like my football helmet. And I bit down on my lip because like I spit my mouth guard out. I was just like gushing blood, and he just looks at me as like open palm, it doesn't count, and walks away.
And then anytime I visited from school, you and the Rutledge twins, Steve, open hand, bam! I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Doesn't count.
Bastards.
All
Can't
right.
be mad about it.
Bastards.
Okay, let's go.
So 30 minutes ago, we were going to come in hot and sweaty, and
Then we came in hot and sweaty.
then we came in hot and sweaty.
We were supposed to be sweaty.
I already am sweaty.
Yeah.
And I've taken a shower today. I'm gonna have to take
I was born sweaty.
I was born with it.
I can't smell anything. I don't care.
That's the best thing about COVID. You save money on deodorant, water, soap. Don't smell anything.
I don't do any of that anyway.
But you know,
Nothing like a mountain man smell.
I eat more, though, because I'm hoping the next meal I can taste. I'm just like in anticipation.
Steve, it ain't gonna happen for like 3 months. You just got to give it up now and then accept it later. That's what I did. I walked into that hibachi place last night in Danville, and I go, "Oh wow, I can actually smell everything in here. This is weird."
I just miss food. I'm going to try to eat wings today for the game. It's just not going to.
All right, are we ready?
All
Because
right.
now I'm looking at this guy and I'm getting pissed.
So Coach West has a
If
rant.
you know this guy, you know this freaking dude and his refereeing crew, aka Sergeant Dong Mask. Tell him to stop screwing the game up. I'm not one to blame referees. I'm not. But when I miss the first overtime because you can't even get a game done in 2.5 hours, yeah, we're going to have some problems. You screwed up the Ohio State game, Dong Mask. And now you made the other freaking game last too long. I can't even remember who we played because I was so pissed off.
Indiana.
Literally. This is how this works. Watch it. And I'm like, Oh, this is good. I don't have to watch it live. I got it on DVR. I'll catch up by the end. Well, through about 3 or 4 camera reviews to get a 1/10 of a second put back on the clock. Okay, to get a 1/10 of a second put back on the clock, all of a sudden, my DVR that's recorded something for 2.5 hours because I added the 30-minute extension, I get to 0.5 seconds left in the second half, and it stops. And it's 11:30 at night. The game's over. So I had to get on freaking Google just to look up and see old Curbononics over here freaking went off in the half and in the freaking overtime, hit Kofi on a freaking beautiful bounce pass to seal the deal against the Hoosiers. You're talking to a guy who was there when Tyler Griffey hit the freaking layup at the last second to beat number 1 Indiana in the Assembly Hall because F you State Farm, I don't care what you paid for it. And now I've got incompetent. I don't blame refs for anything, right? But you effed up the out of bounds call against Illinois, Ohio State. You effed up when Miller got popped in the jaw and you didn't call shit. And now you effed up my DVR. That's 3 strikes and you're out for me. And you, dude, my dogs are going all crazy right now because I'm lit up. And then you look like a freaking moron like this. Is that just the tip? Is that just the tip? You're wearing your freaking brassiere? Is that your thing? Is that what you want to do? You go to the freaking bondage store and get that thing or what? I'm pissed because that crew has screwed up 2 games. They've made them way too long. Quit dependent on the camera. Be confident in your call and move on. Because honestly, you're impacting the game. Referees should never impact the game. You want to be terrible? Cool. Be terrible. But how many times have I seen Kofi Coburn post up with his arms up like this? Dude literally sits his hand on Kofi's arm. Kofi brings his arm down. Dude snaps his head back, acts like he's got hurt, and fucking Kofi gets a goddamn foul. And then they got to go to review. Get off my fucking leg, boy. Needless to say, I'm pissed. And these guys, if they ref a tournament game, look out. Look out. Because they're probably going to screw it up. And then he's going to have a dong mask on, and it ain't even going to be about the game. You could have a 16 upset of 1, and if you're wearing that mask, ain't nobody paying attention to the game because you look like a penis. You literally look like the chick off of Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo. He gives her a freaking money to get plastic surgery and she gets bigger boobs, even though she has a penis for a nose. That's what you look like. It's an anteater of humankind. Oh, I'm pissed. Bullshit. No college basketball game should take over 2 hours to get through. Don't care how many. And it was over stupid reviews that to the human eye, it's like, what the hell are we looking at now? And it's even comical with the announcers. They're like, oh, what the hell are we looking at now? Well, nobody freaking knows because these guys just make shit up as they go. Oh, we're going to look at this guy. He slapped. Did you see the one bullshit technical the other day where the dude shot it? See, now I'm just getting all kinds of pissed off.
Are you talking about Trent Frazier?
Oh, hold on. That's
We're not
another
even-
one.
we're not even
There's
to
even
that
more
one
than
yet.
just the Illinois game.
Okay.
Because these referees are so freaking stupid now. It's like they've went with this whole PC culture and they forgot that one of the best parts about trash talking or basketball was the trash talking. What would be Michael Jordan if somebody couldn't say cash in his face? What the hell would he have done? Oh, can't talk trash. Can't say cash. Even if their bench is talking shit to me, I can't say anything to them. You know what was the best part about being on a good basketball team my senior year? Was standing in front of the student section and shooting right in front of them. Because they were just talking shit and they just fuel your fire. And now it's like, can you not do that? We can't say cash. Especially if you hit a 3 and you turn around and you look at the bench. There was an even dumber one, though. This guy yesterday, it was the Oklahoma game, drives to the middle. There's like 2 seconds left, shoots it, gets fouled on, or he either fouls it or makes it and gets fouled. And like him and the guy literally said one word apiece to each other, turned around, go back to their huddles, and they called a double technical. It's out of control. It's stupid. If you can't say anything, like I'm surprised they haven't teed up Kofi when he says, get that shit out of here when he blocks somebody's shot emphatically. You know, it's just stupid. You're ruining the game just because we can hear it. Sorry, not sorry. That's part of the game, especially at the collegiate level, because now you're dealing with guys that can beat each other one-on-one, and there's a little bit of that to the game. And if you can't handle it, you're probably in, like, Division II. And that's not an insult to them, but, like, dude, those guys play at a high level. That's just part of it. You think when they go up to the park, when they go home, wherever the hell their home is, they don't sit there and talk trash to the locals who try and beat them? There's literally YouTube videos all over the place, these and one mixtape tour guys just going around to random parks and beating the shit out of regulars and talking shit to them. But now we can't even say cash when we make a three. How about we just stop, like, we just won't talk at all, even though basketball is all about communication. I don't know. I'm pissed off. I'm done with the bullshit flagrants where people flop. I wish that they could eject them from the game for flopping. That freaking number 4 from Rutgers, he needs punched in the face. Because at least then it would be a flagrant foul. I just had one the other night. Steve probably wasn't watching. In JV game, I have a girl who freaking chases down another girl, jumps up with both arms up in the air trying to block a layup, and runs into her. Not like she meant to. And then the girl falls on the ground and lays there for a second. Then as soon as they decide they're going to call it a flagrant, she just pops right back up. All right, give me my free throws. We became very, very, very soft. If my girl really wanted to shove her, really wanted to get a flagrant, she just took her arms and just shoved her ass. But you're dealing with JV girls. They're trying to play as fast as they can. And she went up with both hands and actually blocked the ball. The ball didn't even get up to the rim. But just basketball refereeing in general with this flagrant bullshit and all this stuff, I don't know where the hell it came from, but it needs to get the hell out. Because flagrants back in the day used to be if you took your elbow and legitimately made contact with somebody. And now it's, well, the aftermath looks bad, so we'll call it. And I think it's bullshit. I think they should be able to call people on it. You're a bitch. You don't get the foul. Or at least a flagrant. I mean, did my girl get her with the body? Yeah. But she was making a play on the ball. Did Trent even touch anybody? No. Did he even curse? Nope. Son of a bitch. Like, you literally can't say, that's taunting. Yeah, thank you. Look at that mustache. Wait, now you've covered me up.
Oh,
Damn it,
keep going.
this is not
Don't
COVID.
worry about me.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just to the point now where we're so worried about hurting people's feelings. And I think it's bullshit. I just think it's bullshit.
I don't think all refs are like that, though.
Not good ones.
No. And, like, I grew up in a house. My dad was a referee for a really long time.
Yeah.
So he always tried to tell me, like, when he saw a ref doing a good job, he would always point it out. So it made me kind of realize, like, oh, yeah, the job of a good ref is to basically just not be seen or heard from unless absolutely necessary.
Yep.
And, like, that Indiana game, those refs made it very clear early on that that game was about them, not anyone else. It wasn't about the players. It wasn't about, you know, the conference or good basketball, because it sure as fuck wasn't good basketball. Like, that was brutal to watch, right? I think we all agree that. But, like, that specific ref crew is basically Joe West. Like, I don't know how much baseball you watch.
Yeah, well, I know who Joe West is. I don't even watch baseball.
Yeah, that was a fucking Joe West game where it's like everything's about me right now. And it sucked because that game could have been awesome. And like I feel cheated as a fan because of it.
Yeah. As a referee, you're a guide. And I'm all good as long as it's consistent. But like you said, you kind of can tell when a game is going into, okay, this ref's trying to do stuff for him. I can't remember the one guy. There's one guy. Remember Bobby Knight like threw the chair. He was refereeing his game. I'm trying to think of his name. I can't remember. But like he always makes the college game about him. And he was a good ref. But like when you have announcers talking about you, the game is officially shifted. And that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. If you have announcers talking about you at all in a game, you're probably just not a good ref.
Right.
Like, I understand missing a call because that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we're human, right? I mean, that is.
Yeah. Like, I went through a period of time where I was like, studying to try to get on a ref crew for basketball.
You just talk to him right now. Just talk to him.
Yeah, I can't deal with that right now. But like you have to constantly be looking at like 5 different things. You're going to miss some stuff.
Oh yeah, you're going to miss a lot, but as long as you're consistent, it's okay.
Exactly. Like if you're going to tee up Trent for saying cash, you better tee up Indiana's head coach for being halfway down the court screaming at you later on in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said a lot more than cash.
Hell yes, he did. And you could see it.
Yeah.
Like,
but what about when you're shooting and the other team's bench gets up and starts yelling shit at you? Where's their technical? That's the same thing.
Yeah. Because
just
you're telling me everything coming off of that bench is, hey, good luck on your shot.
I hope you make it.
Yeah. That's great follow through, man. Keep it up. I just saw it with I actually just saw it happen yesterday. I can't remember what game it was. Was it it was a light blue team. It's same Frazier thing. Literally looks at the bench and they teed him up.
Well, because they think it's taunting, and like define taunting.
When they're saying shit at you,
right.
You want to see who's saying it, right?
And all you do is look at it. It's not like you threw the basketball at him. Like,
no.
You just look at him.
Like, I'll remember you. You get on this court, because that's what basketball is, right?
So
like, I can go at you and make you look stupid.
Would Michael Jordan shrug be a technical in college right now? Probably.
Oh, absolutely.
If he looked at somebody and did it.
Yeah, but then I take that back because Trent shrugged the other day.
But see, that doesn't offend anybody. Like if I was playing basketball against someone that shrugged, I'd be like, oh, like it doesn't.
It would offend Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, he would take it personally.
Well, he would have to find something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Said something about my mom.
The black cat. But I mean, seriously, actually, you just did that, Brad. Then I thought of the dude that he had gambled against. Greatest non-important character ever in a series was probably that guy.
White Jerry Curl guy.
Yes. And he like we watched 10 episodes of the greatest basketball team like ever. And then that is one of the highlights that we remember. Like if you think about it, like it was pretty legit.
That guy had to feel so secure in his job to do that to Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Like after he did that, there was like a half a minute where he was like, fuck, I'm fired.
He's like looking out the side of his eye, like, please.
But honestly, if you're a Michael person, Michael, you had a job until you're 6 feet under. You know what I mean? Because people surround those athletes just because of the money and the popularity and all that shit. Yes.
And he's got the Jordan emblem on the like lapel.
Yes. That's so
he
badass.
does, yes.
That's so badass. Yeah, I just, it's kind of like Michael was probably surrounded by a lot of fake people, and to have to sort through all of the crap to get to like your people that are about you and genuinely want you to be good. Because Steve, you as well as I know, there's coaches out there that are about them, and the athletes are a way to improve them, as opposed to, hey, I really care about you and I want you to be successful. We've all seen it in some way, shape, or form, whether it was coaching against somebody or playing for somebody or, whatever. There are some coaches that have the wrong intentions.
Like the one that tried to fight me at Casey's in St. Joe, but that's a whole different rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Don't even.
You ain't going there.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that earlier about Casey's, but I was like, oh, I don't want to ruin Casey's name.
Yeah, no, don't.
No. Don't you ever shame Casey's.
The taco pizza is unprecedented.
At Casey's General Store. We're probably going to get copyrighted for that shit.
Yeah, probably.
No, people up here don't know what Casey's is. You're fine.
That's true.
Up in the suburbs. Let's go to Plano.
But honestly, yeah, if I see that crew, I cringe. And he went away from the dong mask. This one was more of like just a regular, like rectangular prism kind of thing with
like Bill Belichick one. Is that who had that?
I don't know what the hell it was, to be honest with you. It was still long. I mean, dude might have a dong for a nose. I don't know. It ain't like we've seen him without a mask on. I've never seen him ref before this.
He probably went to the bullet and grabbed a mask. That's probably what it was.
Nah, the bullet, that's called something else, Steve.
I'm trying to keep it PG on here.
Well, I mean, it's cloth, so it can be rewashable.
It's true.
And that's the CDC rules, so we're good.
We're skirting it right now.
Well, I think I feel better now.
It feels good to get it off your chest, right?
It does. And know that like 3 people are going to listen to it.
Yeah.
Jacob's still here, I think.
Have you seen this man? I feel like T-1000 in Terminator 2. Have you seen this man? If you see him refereeing your game, just run the other way.
It's okay. We can talk about WandaVision now to calm down.
I'm trying to remember. There was an older ref that used to ref Big Ten games, like early 2000s. He was a black guy, and his ref crew was the best because they would just let you play. Was it
Hightower?
Hightower.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were the best Big Ten refing crew possibly ever.
Jacob, that's why we were huge. Loved
watching Hightower games. In fact, I think he was the ref on that game where Dimitri McCamey shoulder checked Eric Gordon before the game.
Yeah.
That was good times.
That was just a good rivalry, and they were better than us, but it was still a good rivalry just because of that drama with that. It's kind of like what we have with Missouri right now. If we could only beat them again. It was like we had shit teams and could beat Missouri, and now all of a sudden we're starting to get to we're climbing the mountain.
But Illinois doesn't look at the Missouri game as like a huge game anymore. Like when we were all growing up, that was like the first big rivalry game of the year. And now it's not as big anymore.
Well, I think when they dropped the college football one, I think it just slowly started to kind of, because it was our battle with Missouri, right? I actually went to the last bragging rights football game. It was a lot of fun.
I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I should care about that game because of like Mark Smith and Jeremiah Tillman, but I don't. And I think
who was the other one? There was 3 of them, right?
We just have better versions of those same players.
Mm-hmm.
I know they beat us, but like I'd rather have Kofi than Jeremiah Tillman.
Very true.
And I would much rather have Io than Mark Smith.
Or even
Adam
any
Miller.
of our guards.
Yeah.
Corbello, I'd much rather have than Mark Smith.
Now, Missouri did just beat Alabama.
They did. That was a really good game. Did you watch that?
Wait a minute. My rant ain't over. Sorry.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. There we go.
There we go. By the way, all of you dumbasses out there who was brutalizing Illinois for losing to Ohio State, I don't even know what the hell you can eat to be politically correct. I can't say anything. But what you can do is You can suck on this guy's mat. You want to know why? Because Ohio State's a projected number 1 seed in the Big Ten or in the NCAA. And now you all just look like a bunch of ignorant asses. And all you wanted to brutalize them over losing to Missouri? Oh, guess what? Missouri isn't that bad. We've only played like the second hardest schedule in the country. So you got to – and we made Coach K basically quit. 5 McDonald's All-Americans. Well, I don't think, there's just much bigger things in the country going on right now. Okay, Coach K, you beat our ass by 30, and you're going to be looking forward to that North Carolina game like, oh, yeah, we're going to whoop their ass. But nope, Illinois made you quit on your own home floor. Shut the hell up. But for all of you fans that want to throw this team under the bus, there was going to be peaks and there was going to be valleys. There's going to be sometimes we don't play well, but at least we win. You might forget maybe 6 years ago, we could play really well and still lose by 15. So quit acting like we're holier than thou. We're not that far out of the trash can yet to not remember where we came from. We can't become Auburn. Those people are idiots. Are they not? Oh, we're going to play with Chris Malzone. We're going to build a $90 million football complex.
Great wins.
I just love, of all the things that this podcast has created, it's your hatred of Auburn football fans.
They're terrible.
You weren't there. He texted me right when it happened. I was like, oh, let me look. Oh.
This is like a legit argument. Like we were going at it.
And you didn't even say – he didn't say anything bad. He was just kind of compared to
us. Really glad I didn't curse or anything because, like, Twitter, all my kids can see it. So, like, I try and be pretty – and even here, I try not – but, dude, if I get fired up, I mean, it happens, right? Like it happens. But it pisses me off with Illinois – sorry, Steve. It pisses me off with Illinois fans because it's like, you know what? We're finally good, and now you're not happy. Just go the hell, be an Indiana fan or a Purdue fan. You know what? Just go up to Northwestern. Go to Iowa. I mean, they're good. And then you can belittle them. Get the hell out. Quit killing my vibe because literally since the 05-06 seasons, I've been wanting something like this. Newsflash, assholes, it's been like 15 years. Quit being douchebags and just support the damn team and enjoy this. By the way, did you guys see the freaking game winner that Luke Good hit?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, Sports Center number 1.
Yeah, that turnaround was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It was unbelievable. I mean, the fact that he was fading away from 3 with his feet staggered, not even a set shot. And I mean, it was cash. It wasn't even like it hit the rim. It popped that net up. Poof.
Straight cash on me.
I'm surprised the freaking referees over there, they didn't tee him up for celebration. Give the other team a couple free throws.
If they had Dong Man, they would have.
Because he would have hurt the other team's feelings by making the game winner.
No, he will be really good for this team next year.
Yeah, because we need a stroker.
Yeah, which I think another year you give Adam Miller, he's going to create on the ball more.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously Io's going to leave. I'm still holding out hope Kofi stays.
I think Kofi – did you see Underwood's comment?
He was in diapers still, basically.
Yeah, he's still in basketball diapers. I think you give Kofi another year because here's the thing. Right now he's playing with Io, and let's be honest, Io that was a different level yesterday. That was a different level.
Do you want to change the thing over? Because we're going to get into Illinois basketball now.
Well, I wanted to make sure we were.
Sorry,
No, you're right. That was different level. And then after the game, it comes out that before the game, Io's like, yeah, I'm going to get a triple-double today. Like, against a top 25 team.
The first triple-double against a top 25 team all year.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's some NBA stuff.
Yeah.
And people are still projecting him to be like a mid-second rounder.
And here's the other thing. He is, if I look at him as an NBA guy, and like I'm one of those middle of the road teams, not picking high enough to get one of the, but not picking low enough to basically draft the paper sack to go in the trash can. Like I'm in that middle. Look at what he's done at Illinois and how our culture has shifted. There's got to be something to that, right? It's kind of like when you draft an Alabama guy in the 3rd or the 4th round. Yeah, he might not have all the projectables, but at the same time, he's been a part of winning. And so you're at least getting a winner.
Do you think it's just his size that they're looking at? Like, where is he going to play in an NBA game?
They need to quit worrying about the size. That's what they do. They worry about all these projectables. What? We got 47 3-star or belows in the Super Bowl today? When do we stop worrying about all the measurables and just be like, oh, shit, Illinois wasn't good. They get IO. And now all of a sudden, with the strength of schedule and all the measurables, they're probably, I could comfortably say, like after yesterday's game, a top 5 team in the country. They played their ass off.
And here's the thing, like in defense of IO, he doesn't have a great outside shot, right?
But he can hit it in big moments.
He can hit it, but here's the thing. I don't think he does very often because he doesn't have to.
No, because he can drive to the basket and he can create.
Yeah.
When he drives to the basket, he gets 2 or 3 other people open.
He is also an insanely good lockdown defender.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like 3 straight games now where his primary defensive responsibility hasn't broken double digits.
Well, because his length is going to bother a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because he's fast enough to keep up. So that length is going to bother people.
Yeah. I don't understand how people can say that he's a second rounder. Like, I guess I just don't see it because I know how shitty Illinois basketball was before he got here. And like, basically, he's not only started winning, but then to hit game winners last year. Like when the ball was in his hands at the end of games last year, you're just like, well, fuck, here we go. We win. How long has it been since we've had a player like that?
The last thing that was close to it, Brandon Paul had that a little bit.
Yeah.
Dimitri McCamey did a little bit.
But their teams weren't good enough to be in that position a lot.
I'm talking just like as a player.
Yeah.
A dude with enough swagger to call his shot.
Well, if you read Tim Grover's book, Steve, have you read it yet? Relentless. Damn it, Steve.
I'm going to look it up right.
Michael's trainer.
I'm going to look it up right now. And I'll get on my Kindle right now as we're talking.
Get it. Dude, I listened to it up to the RPR client. I listened to the whole damn book in 2 days. It was unbelievable. But he talks about 3 different kinds of people, and cleaners is the last one. Io's a cleaner. That's what he talks about. Kobe was a cleaner. Michael was a cleaner. LeBron's not a cleaner. And like, not to go into that, but he just says the mentality that it takes to be a cleaner is just such. And like, you see Io, in my eyes, Io is a cleaner.
Is it called Relentless from
Relentless.
Good Unstoppable?
It's by Tim Grover.
Yeah, Relentless from Good to Great to Unstoppable.
Yes, and the Unstoppable is a cleaner. And I don't see many guys that can stop Io. And if they do, if they decide to throw 3 at him, he is confident enough to get that to somebody else. And he boosts the confidence of his teammates. Shit, Io just passed me the ball. He believes that I'm going to hit this. And then more times than not, they make a play. And I think now we're seeing Io where he's realized, okay, I can try and get people involved early, but if they're not firing, I've got to take over for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it's okay. And that's what happened yesterday. I mean, he gets to the rim more than any guard I think I've ever. Like his right-handed layup off the glass, he doesn't have to be in the lane and can put that soft off the glass.
And he does the NBA thing where he goes high off the glass.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's unbelievable. When he makes that move, I'm like, well, there's 2 points.
He shot one last night and it didn't go in. And
you were shocked.
I was shocked. Of course, it like was in and out, but I was like, that should have gone in. But then I think about it, I'm like, 3 players in college basketball make that shot.
But he has a soft touch when that one, it hit the backboard, hit the front of the rim, hit the back of the rim, went in, and he was fouled. I'm like, that's how you know it's so soft because it doesn't rim off.
Yeah.
Like, it's beautiful.
Because I think what we're seeing is everybody's starting, because you got to think Curbelo did not play very well yesterday.
He's struggling.
Well, that's the thing I wanted to talk about. So,
but hold on, but you look at how well our chemistry is, and like it's starting to come together, right? So we had our core, and now we're implementing these new pieces, and now it's all finally starting to do this. And Michigan Wolverines, you're a bitch.
Well, we're going to talk about that too. So I have a couple things. Did you guys get the quote from Kofi after the game about his dunks? I retweeted it. Yeah. I'm going to say it because it gives me goosebumps every time. They asked Kofi, like, what was the deal with you seem to be like going hard at the basket tonight? And Kofi said, Trace Jackson Davis dunked on me. He dunked on me. And now everybody's going to feel me. And that's all I have to say about it. And I was like, whoa.
When have we had a big man that would say that? Augustine didn't even do that, dude.
Sean Pruitt. But he wasn't Kofi.
No.
And that's the thing, like,
called bullshit for the whole state.
Yeah. If you think about if Kofi like gets angry at the rim, and some of those dunks last night were like he dunked it and then pushed people off of him, and that's so not him. You know, like everything we've seen from Kofi is big, but he's not like imposing.
Mm-hmm.
Last night he was imposing.
Last night he was like a Shaq version.
Yes.
Where it was, you get in my way and I'm probably going to hurt you with the ball coming through the net.
And like, I don't know who that 35 kid is from Michigan or from.
He's actually good.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's good.
Kofi drop stepped on that dude and put down one of the more ferocious dunks I've ever seen. And it wasn't the most disrespectful play of his night. Like, it was so much fun to watch that happen. Because I think, like, this is why you like Brad Underwood. Because he gets in a dude's ear, and yeah, he's hard on the guy, but he also develops a nastiness.
Yeah.
And we got to see nasty.
Because was it Ohio State where Kofi would come in for 10 seconds, do something wrong, and Underwood's like, I'm done. You're going to sit down. Was that game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he wasn't posting up with authority and shit like that. He was like, I'm not watching this.
And then, like, he gets to Indiana, and it kind of woke him up. It was kind of like, oh, if I drop step, I can dunk on anybody.
Dude, one of and this wasn't even on offense yesterday, was that guy had him posted up, and he went to try and do a drop step, and Kofi's standing there with his arms up. The dude puts his shoulder in Kofi's sternum. Kofi doesn't move. And then, like, he draws a little bit of contact in my mind, but the referee didn't give it to him because the drop step was so bitch-like that he wasn't even going to call the foul on it. He was like, you literally just tried to plow him over, and you just bounced off of it.
That's my kind of rep.
Travel?
I think so, yeah.
And they got the dude for a travel after that, and I was like, you bitch.
But see, that's
like, he really tried to, like, lower in and Kofi was just like, no, we're not doing this, buddy. Yeah. It was a lot of fun to watch that game yesterday. Like, that was where I was like, okay, we're doing things here.
And Wisconsin is one of those teams that, like, physically makes me shake with anger that we lose to.
Yes.
Because, like, Illinois always had athletes and Wisconsin's always had basketball players.
Yep.
And then we don't recruit a guy like Frank Kaminsky, who's from Illinois.
Yeah.
Then he kicks the shit out of Illinois for 4 years.
What, we'd lost them 15 out of the last 17 times or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so then you want to talk about how is Iowa a second round pick? oh, wait a minute. Now all of a sudden we can just beat West and then beat them like that. Like there's a difference between beating somebody and then beating their ass at the same time. Like you can lose a basketball game because it is a finesse game. You can get out basketballed. And we not only out basketballed them, but then the physicality, the defense, just when I looked at it and it was like, what, Wisconsin scored 21 points in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's a good half of defense.
And you weren't – I'm sorry, Steve. Go
I was
ahead.
just saying, do you see how fast our pick and roll defense has become all of a sudden? Like how quickly we can move and get to the guy all of a sudden?
Well, Trent Frazier is – can you imagine being a guard and Trent Frazier's guarding you for a whole game? I would just be like, fuck this, I'm done.
Just sit the ball at half court.
Yeah.
Here you go.
You can pick it up, just don't do a fast break.
I've never seen a guy go over so many picks. Like, you never see Trent Frazier go underneath a pick. He fights through it every time.
Yep.
Like, it's one of the more – and he played 38 minutes.
He's kind of been the spark. His play is kind – him and Io's
he
play.
was the guy 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And has taken a back seat now, which they bring that up every game. But I still don't think it's talked about enough.
No.
Like, he was the one that kind of started the culture change with Brad Underwood.
Yep.
So my question, we talked about Curbelo earlier. He obviously had the worst game of his Illinois career, right? Underwood sat him down. I don't know about you. I watched Underwood chew on him for about 5 minutes, just kind of relentlessly. And then he grabbed him, put his arm around him, and talked to him. Are you at all worried that he turns Curbelo into Mark Smith?
No. Curbelo's got a different attitude about him. You watch Mark Smith, whether he's down 20 or up 20, this is his face. Whereas Curbelo, he's one of those guys that it's going to spark him. He's got the you just look, I mean, he's just no.
And he's about the team too. Like when we're doing well and he's on the bench struggling, he's still standing up, pumping his chest.
Yeah.
Like they've talked about it every game. He wants to get better. He's not satisfied, so I think he's fine.
And I think Mark Smith thought that he was really good.
Right.
Yet he still only has like 2 points against Illinois like the last 2 years.
Yeah, he went scoreless this year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
He got 2 free throws the year before, that son of a bitch. But no, I'm sure he's a good dude. But yeah, just, you shun us like that and then you go to our rival. All right. But I kind of like it on the other side of things, right? Like, you treat me like crap, I'm going to go to a team that plays you once a year in a rivalry game. Respect to that too.
Yeah.
And then beat us the rest of the year.
I don't think Underwood liked him at all. I think he recruited him, and then once he got on campus, he was like, yeah, this dude doesn't.
This ain't working. Yeah. Well, and, Underwood would much rather have a guy that's going to dive on the floor for something than have the title of Mr. Basketball, if we're being honest. Like, Adam Miller is a very grindy Mr. Basketball.
Dude,
plays great defense. I mean, he's...
I wasn't sure for a long time if I liked Adam Miller's slap the court thing, because he does it a lot. But these last couple games, in crunch time, you notice like they do a defensive shift, and Adam Miller guards the ball from like inbound to half court.
Yeah.
Like single man pressure on the ball.
Yep.
And he's a freshman.
Yeah.
Like that dude he's going to be a player for us.
Oh, absolutely.
And I can't wait because he came in beefy anyway. Like seeing how he develops is going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you want to talk about Michigan now and how they're pussies?
Well, I mean, it's just great to see Illinois basketball come together. Post moves were working. Like, that's starting to come together. The defense
Well,
rotations
I mean,
coming
we
together.
forget Kofi had 18 points and 14 rebounds or something?
Yeah.
And that was outshadowed.
No. Kofi had 21 and 14.
Oh, sorry. 21 points and 14 rebounds. So,
And it wasn't talked about. It was talked about Io the whole time.
and we forgot about that. How long has it been since we had a guy that did that by himself? And then we paired him up with a dude who got a triple-double. And they did it against the number 19 team, who's probably one of the more fundamentally sound teams in the NCAA.
With length. Like, that's all.
They were long.
Yeah.
And I did like, after the game, they kind of talked about for the last week, Underwood has been kind of shitting on Io about not rebounding.
And then he gets 12 rebounds.
Like, Underwood loves to play that game where he
knows how to do it.
Yeah. There aren't a lot of coaches in college basketball that can openly like, oh, Luka Garza is the best player in the country right before you play Iowa. And I think Underwood knows he has his perfect team where he can do that. And he's got at least two guys that are going to be like, nope.
No, he's not. And we're about to show you why.
Yeah.
Because normally the way that people have been beating Iowa is Luka can go ahead and have his. We're just going to take it. We're going to take everybody else away. And we beat them, and Luka scored under 20 points. I mean, if you go by, you look at their losses, they allow him to have 32 points, but they don't let him get the three-point shooting going. And I mean, beating Iowa by 5, good enough for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A win's a win against the number 5 team in the country.
And I think earlier on in the year, we talked about, like, is Illinois' pick and roll defense going to improve? I have not seen – I know Kofi got exposed twice, I think, by one of those Wisconsin bigs. His perimeter defense these last 2 games has been immaculate.
Yeah.
Like, he's moving his feet. His positioning's good. Like, it's cool to see him make that jump from the beginning of the year where he was now.
Yeah, and I thought that was our one weakness, was a big man that could shoot. And the last few games, I mean, because Trace Jackson Davis is a good-ass ball player. And even, obviously, Luka's really freaking good, too. And so he's had to play 2 of probably the best stretch 5s in our conference. And we've beat both of them. And even against Wisconsin. Not only the first dude, but the second dude. So you had Reavers and then the guy who came in after him. They were both stretch 5s. And we have figured it out. And now I'm not nervous or as nervous. I mean, you know, now that you have the expectations, you get nervous. But, yeah, good stuff. It's fun it's fun after just basically living in a sewer and flying your Illinois flag and, like, sitting there, that one of the Ninja Turtles finally goes by and pulls you up to the street. You know what I'm saying?
Feels good. And the nice thing about this year is, like, we had our depressing part of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, after the game, Io in his press conference was like, we always knew there was going to be a time that you have to peak, and we're coming. Like, it's happening. And for him to come out and say that publicly, one's kind of ballsy, but I like it.
Yeah, that's a closer.
Yes.
Or a cleaner, sorry.
That's kind of what led to Coach West's rant. We all said, like, we were just frustrated, us 3, and I even talked to, like, Logan Lee. We're just frustrated because we weren't seeing the talent play the way they need to be playing. We could lose, but it was the way we were losing. So we, as Illinois, that's why I think we're the best Illinois fans. We're not too high or too low. We're right in the middle. Everybody else was like, oh, my God, we suck. Like, it's over. If this was 10 years of being really good, then we could have that conversation.
Yeah.
But like you said, we haven't been like this since 2004 and 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Not with these expectations.
And you as a team, you got to figure out if we're going to lose. if we are going to lose, how do we lose the game?
Right.
If we are going to win, how are we going to win the game? And you got to figure those out, right? Because if you know, okay, this is where we break. Look at, you can't go 30 whatever and 0 all the time, right? It just doesn't happen hardly ever. And I think, honestly, those losses, and it isn't like we've lost to bums.
We're in the best basketball conference in the nation, so it's like it's okay.
And have played a very top tier non-conference schedule. How many teams signed up for Baylor and Duke this offseason?
That's why I love Brian Underwood. He's even trying to play other people. We'll get to Michigan here in about a minute, but he was like, I'll go play somebody else. I'll go schedule a top 5 team right now. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Because you want to know what? When it comes to tournament time, all you want film against what you think will work against them, because the second time as a coach, that's what's hard right now. Steve, this. With basketball, I don't know if you guys are playing anybody twice, but we don't play anybody. You have one crack, and that's pretty hard to try and get that perfect. But if you can get them one crack in the regular season and see them postseason, I've got film on things that I might try, and I might try and do things here just to see what happens, so that I know that it won't work when it matters, or I know that it will work when it matters.
We play 16 games.
Yeah.
Oh, it's off top. Naperville North a couple times.
Yeah, so you will play people twice. So you do get that second one. But I think, honestly, it's easy to get a team the first time, but it's the second time when they make the adjustments. And I think that's the thing with Underwood. I want to see somebody that I could possibly see in this NCAA tournament. One, it makes my team better. And you want to know what? We'll go on the road and play their ass. Because then, if you think about it and what they're talking about, the NCAA tournament's going to be in Indianapolis. Or at least in Indiana. So it isn't like it's this huge road trip for us. So that I just like the whole mojo about the team, if that makes sense. I think Underwood's firing on all cylinders. I think Antigua's probably one of the best big man coaches in the country, and we're just lucky to have him. And then those other 2 assistants that he has, which I can't name off the top of my head. Dude, you look at that staff, every guy has his role, and they do their things within a game. And Underwood is not a micromanager. He'll step back, and the assistant will walk in front of him and be talking, because that was what his responsibility was. And to kind of see how that all intermingles with the players, and you can tell because not every coach can connect with every player on that deep level, but every coach knows who they connect with. And then they all intermingle well together. They all work well together. And like he said, we're coming. I don't think you've seen the best yet. I think that was a good game, very good game, but I don't think it was a perfect game.
I'm glad you brought up the coaching thing. I always think that I watch those coaches. Sometimes Brad Underwood is sitting and they're coaching and he's just sitting there. How many head basketball coaches can say that they allow that to happen? You don't even see that in high school. If a coach stands up in high school, they tell him to sit down. You don't want that. Yeah. He just lets them. And times that there's a timeout, Brad Underwood is talking to one guy and the rest of them are coaching, drawing up stuff.
Well, what I love is it's like each guy has his role. All right, I need a sideline out of bounds right now to draw up. And so his assistant will draw it up and then he explains it to the team. I just think we have kind of that it factor going right now. It's one of those things you can't point at it oh, this is the one thing that's going right. It's about after that game, because after the Indiana game, I was like, ho hum, But after the Wisconsin game, I was like, oh, okay. And, to win at Indiana, that's pretty difficult to do.
Which we haven't done in a long time, right? It was
years.
No,
I don't think so. So you're winning away games. You're playing one of the toughest schedules in the country. The coaching staff's almost fluid now. I mean, they just work. It isn't even like they just get up and he just steps. Like, as a coach, and Steve, Brad, you don't understand it as much, but just the way that they work around one another and that cohesiveness. Some coaches have egos, and that doesn't happen. And when your coaches don't have egos, your players are like, why should I have an ego?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just this thing that's happening right now, and it's just fun to watch.
And seeing them run into the locker room afterwards is so fun to watch. You got Whitman in there jumping up and down. Like, to see Illinois do that is just great. Not like Michigan, where we have to call the ambulance.
Yeah.
The other guy you're thinking of is Ron Coleman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm assuming Antigua messes with the big guys and Coleman's the ones.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie.
No, but you're 100% right in that, like, it's cool because, like, I like watching Underwood kind of chew on a guy for a little bit. But then, like, I'm glad you brought it up because then you watch Coleman pull the guy over.
Yep.
He's like, hey, let's walk through what you're doing right now.
Yep.
You know?
Well, that's the role of assistant coach, and Coach West can attest to that. Sometimes you let the OCs or the DCs or the head basketball coach chew, and then you wait a second and you grab and say, let me tell it to you again, just in these words.
Yeah.
I mean, it just happened like yesterday for us kind of thing. And not that I'm comparing Illinois basketball, but we were at practice and our shell drill was looking like ass. It just wasn't looking good. And there was probably 4 freshmen out there. And I got on them. I said, that's not how we're going to play on our court. Because, we just got a brand new court. I mean, it looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I've seen pictures.
And, yeah. I actually our head basketball coach got us a thing, but that's what it looks like. The orange is actually stained. So
it's on that Facebook thing. It showed it, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
There's just a different vibe about it. And I got on him. I was like, that's not how we're going to play defense on this floor. And it was just a shell drill. And so I said the expectation, because we weren't defending ball screens very good. It was a shell drill where they just had ball screens. And then then all of a sudden we start going over the top of screens. We're hedging real hard. We're covering real hard. Like, it started looking good. And then everybody starts like livening up at practice. Like, people are cheering on the baseline, like getting into it for freshmen, and that's what Illinois is like. Like, but they're way better than what I am, obviously, but they're all for one and kind of one for all. And it's fun to see because we have had egos. Like, I know you mentioned Sean Pruitt, but Sean Pruitt always won the ball. Even though he wasn't amazing, he could put the ball down with some authority, but he was lazy. Even Brian Randall, after, the really good teams, he kind of had an attitude. Rich McBride was kind of for himself. I mean, we haven't really had that because we haven't been good, right? So I got to get mine so I can hopefully get to the league.
Mm-hmm. Or living off that 04 or 05. You're like, we're going to live off of that.
Well, the fans are. The team's we suck, so I'm going to get mine.
So I have a question. It's kind of weird. Would you, if Sports Illustrated, which I don't even know if they still put out a thing, but if they put out a cover with IO that said one man fast break on it again, is that like deserving? I think he's earned that at this point, right?
I think at this point he's earned the title the closer. He is that guy. He's Mariano Rivera or any closer where when that music hits, when that last minute hits and the game's on the line, it's like you start hearing Inner Sandman for like Billy Wagner. And it's just like, it's coming.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
But obviously, so he comes in, he takes D Brown's number. right? Which takes some
Yeah.
balls anyway.
Yeah.
And then I think honestly he's become a more impressive. Like to me, D Brown's always going to be special because that was like in my formative basketball watching years. But like, I think if the numbers in the rafters now, it's Ayo Dosunmu. It's not D Brown.
D Brown was on the cover of Sports Illustrated because he had the charisma. Ayo has the charisma and the ability. Like D couldn't take it to the rim like Ayo did. And Ayo, I would say, is more explosive than D Brown. Ayo can go from 0 to 70 like that.
And
Whereas D Brown was like fast break runouts. Ayo is, all right, everybody's ahead of me, and I'm going to take my guy to the rim, and he's going to be on my hip, and he's probably going to foul me. And this guy's going to step up, and I'm just going to float it over the top, and he's going to knock the piss out of me too, and it's somehow going to fall on the rim.
Sucks to say because we all love D Brown. Sucks to say
D Brown is a great guy.
Yeah.
He just is good for Illinois basketball.
And he's from up here. So he went to Proviso East, which is up here.
Yeah. But
I was almost
Ayo, I think that's and I would say it's even more than just the one-man fast break. I would say it's the closer. Because name a player that you want the ball in their hands on our team. And how many has he hit? How many has he put away where it's just sucked the life? And not even like made the assembly hall go up, but taking the life out of Michigan, in Michigan, taking the life out of Wisconsin, in Wisconsin, like done those kind of things. That's what a closer does. You can play at home. That's easy. Go somewhere else and do it. I mean, we need to get Ayo on this podcast.
He's actually really well spoken.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, like he's the
press conferences and stuff. It's impressive how articulate he is about game stuff. And it'd be cool to actually talk basketball with him.
Yeah.
Because you can tell, like, in his press conference, he tries not to.
Yeah.
But one of those reporters asked him, like, a mildly technical question, and he started talking about game flow. And I was like, I could sit and listen to this for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If he comes on the podcast, we're not politically correct, so just go. We're fine. You just talk.
Now, what we would do is say, Ayo, we have an idea. 16 tables stacked on one another. Stunt double from the rim of the assembly hall onto somebody dressed up like the opponent on game day. With pyrotechnics.
Did you see the Assembly Hall official Twitter account? Like, they did a cut thing of all Kofi's dunks.
Yeah.
And they just quote tweeted it, and they were like, we have to reset these rims a lot.
Yeah. All right. Now, the Michigan Ambulance.
I say this is the longest Illinois basketball segment. I'm really glad that we just.
I know.
And I feel like that was a good segment.
I'm glad we talked about the Haystack. You went from Casey's to Haystack to Dongs to Illinois basketball.
This has been a good podcast.
I'm not gonna lie. This is one of our better ones. You guys are gonna shit when I have a fat head back here on my wall over my shoulder. I'm gonna get a fat head of that.
Is that guy your LeBron James?
Did you just
your Steve?
Oh,
yeah,
God.
because he screws up basketball.
I have to put Brad in a timeout. He brought up the.
No, but honestly, like, I don't know. You know, I don't like referees making the game about them. And so I want to watch basketball. I don't want to watch a referee go to a monitor, stand there for 5 minutes, make your call, be confident in it. You want to review something.
Oh, good.
Who doesn't?
Jacob, Steve is actually getting these, and on the end, it's going to be his emblem. Would you like one?
$5 a piece.
Do they come pre-worn, Steve?
That's for $8.
Vacuum sealed, $8. Coach Steve, preventative. You want to know why that prevents COVID? Because nobody wants to get close to you because they think you've mistaken your underwear as a freaking mask.
That's how I stay safe.
That's right. EuropeanCasualPouch.com.
They'll be sold at the Bullet next week. You'll be good.
Okay,
I'm trying to raise money for our football team. Leave me alone.
Michigan.
We gotta call the ambulance.
Okay, so they've cleared COVID protocols at this point, right?
Yes. But now they just want to have more practice time.
They
Yes.
haven't done anything for 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm. Whereas Illinois didn't have anything for 11 days earlier because of their sister school, Michigan State, or should I say their big brother, Michigan State. So it's okay to make University of Illinois go on 2 separate 10-day rest periods, but you just don't feel comfortable, so you want more practice time.
That's bullshit.
You're scared is what you are. You don't. Okay, so you want to know what Michigan's schedule is coming up? Because I looked it up. Okay.
Now, correct me. Didn't
Go ahead.
We tapped that Michigan ass twice last year, embarrassed them at the Assembly Hall, and Io ice in the veindom up in Michigan. Yeah, they're pussies.
So they're not going to play us. Their next game's at Wisconsin, tough game. But then they get Rutgers at home. That's a win. They have to play at Ohio State, at Indiana. Then they get Iowa at home and Michigan State at home to finish out their year.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit, right? Like,
you know what we should do? We should figure out how to just, all right, you don't want to play us on 1 day rest. You have to squeeze us into your schedule. Because what the bullshit is that they're good enough to only lose maybe 2 of those games, and then they're still ahead of us by 1 game.
Because now there's no tiebreaker.
Right. And so it's bullshit. You better be playing us.
I don't, because you know what's going to happen. I feel the pain of Ohio State right now. And I hate myself for saying that. But they're about to gift Michigan the Big Ten championship, even though they didn't play 5 or 6 of their games.
Because they've already set the precedent with the football.
Yeah, no. The Big Ten is going to do whatever they have to do so Michigan wins the Big Ten. Is what it feels like.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit. Like, I understand we're fired up about football. I'm even more fired up about it now because it's our team.
Yeah. And this is our chance to just put your ass under and you're out of the conversation.
And they're going to fuck around and let Michigan win the Big Ten with, like, how many games have they played? They're 8-1. Maybe 8-1.
I'm on it now. I'm pissed.
Yeah, they're 8-1.
Yeah, they're going to let them go in. And
let's look at this non-conference schedule. Michigan, you bunch of poons. Bowling Green, Oakland, Ball State, UCF, Toledo. You're a bitch.
Look at who they played in the Big Ten.
Penn State, Nebraska, Maryland, Northwestern, Minnesota. They beat Wisconsin. They've beat 1 ranked team, 2 ranked teams. They've beaten 2 ranked teams this whole freaking season.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number 4 team in the nation, the Michigan Wolverines.
Sorry, I had a COVID issue.
Uh-huh. That's it. That's really all I have to say. It's just bullshit. The whole thing's bullshit.
And they had to beat Oakland in overtime.
Yeah.
It took fucking overtime.
I'll never forget because I was at the Michigan-Illinois game at Illinois last year. we StubHubbed it because that's the kind of stuff that we get, and Michigan didn't even want to be there. Kofi, I don't know who that point guard was that they had. Kofi sent his shit into like the second row of the Orange Crush, like the third play of the game, and that guy wanted nothing to do with dribbling within 15 feet of the rim. It was the funniest shit to watch because if he got too far in, it was like, oh shit, and he'd just throw it over his head. Kofi altered probably 5 or 6 shots in that game that he didn't even try and block just because of his presence. And Michigan didn't deserve to be in the gym that day with us. And I swear to God, if they somehow find a way to screw us over, because we're playing great basketball.
Well, Brad Underwood is sitting. He keeps coming out saying, "I'll play right now. Let's go right now." Like he's trying. He's like, "We got to play."
Yeah. Well, and here's the deal: Brad Underwood would probably go out and find a top 15 team to play.
He'd probably go play Baylor again. He will call Baylor up and say, "Let's go. We'll go to Baylor."
He would either play Baylor or Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to play? Let's play.
So here's the thing. Michigan State was postponed and Nebraska was postponed.
Not because of us. But
not because of us. And that, I think, is the most frustrating part.
Because we're doing what we need to do, obviously.
Yes. But we lost a game against Nebraska. That's a win.
Yeah. Michigan State's a win.
Maybe.
They're down this year.
Yeah, they're struggling.
But you can't tell me why. How is there no way they can fit either one of those 2 games back into our schedule? Because last night they were talking like, well, they're just probably going to go away.
And I want to play Michigan State.
I do.
Those are big games for us just because of the past 15 to 20 years of what it's been.
Is there some rule where they have to wait so many days? Is that why they have to wait so many days in between games, or am I just making that up?
No,
I think it's just the schedule.
Yeah, there have been Big Ten teams that are playing every other day.
Yeah, and you think about the freaking like mini tournament style we had at the beginning of the year where you played 3 games in 3 days.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And Illinois seems like the team they always have like 5 days in between each freaking game. So it's like, why can't they play in the middle somewhere?
Yeah, play the third day.
Because Michigan is scared to play Illinois.
Which, okay, so it's the Big Ten commissioner right now. It's his first year, right?
And he's a blowhard.
He is. I think it should probably be his last year. Because we're over halfway through the Big Ten basketball season and we still don't have definitive guidance on how we're going to crown a champion.
Yeah.
Well, just how he handled the football was bad enough, and then now you're handling them this way.
Which honestly, Ohio State did show their worth, but still, you can't. I think he has to learn you don't make definitive statements when you don't know.
But you need to make a statement.
Yes.
Because this is just as bad.
Yeah, this might be worse. Because the Big Ten's so good in basketball that there's probably 4 teams that could make an argument why Michigan needs to play.
Hell yeah. Okay, you have us, Ohio State,
Iowa,
Wisconsin, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Depending on the day, yeah.
And that's a crazy thing. Like, let's see, Michigan.
They've beat Wisconsin. That was one of their 2 ranked wins.
Have they played Indiana yet?
Who, Michigan?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. They have not played another ranked team. They've played Wisconsin. Have they only beat one ranked team? No. Purdue was ranked 24th when they beat them. Purdue had just snuck into the top 25.
Oh, I'm an Illinois.
How do you play in the toughest conference and you've only played 2 damn ranked teams?
That dude from Purdue, there's the big, thick center they have. He's ranked higher on the All-American rankings than Kofi.
Stupid. It's just
right.
Can we just be honest? Can we just get this? Oh man, this might sound terrible. Press just sucks. And everything. They fuck it all up. It matters who you play for, not who you actually are.
I think a lot would be solved if everything was done by coaches poll.
Yes.
Like,
especially, oh Jesus! Now we go into the college football playoff. That was the one thing. Yeah, just
Hold on, I'll fix it.
we broke him.
There we go. We're gonna fix it.
because let's be honest, most of these writers, they watch football. They have a lot of the back storylines and shit like that, but they just see football for what it, like the like I said, the it factor with Illinois. Like you just kind of see that as a coach. How many writers are paying attention? They didn't even pay attention to Kofi's 21-14. How many are paying attention to how the coaching staff's working on the sidelines? Not many. But to me, to see that kind of consistency and that kind of fluidity, no hitch in the giddy up, yeah, that's pretty damn good, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But they don't take into account that it's like, well, we need somebody from the West Coast because we got to keep those people entertained. And the Big 12 is nice to have about every other year. And we have to have that Big 10 because that's big money. And then we're probably going to have Alabama out of the Southeast. We can name right. Well, thank you. But seriously, and it's what's happening here. You know, it's just you've played two ranked teams, one that's barely in the top 25.
And what the Wisconsin
in a conference that has 9 teams that are ranked.
And they have somehow avoided all of it. Because
they would probably split with Michigan State.
I want to look and see what their canceled games actually were. Oh, wait. Oops. I just clicked on their big brother and not them. Okay, let's see here. Of their postponed games.
NC State.
Oh, yeah. Dude, they were about to get into this stupid part of their schedule. Us, then Wisconsin. Can't sleep on Rutgers because of the Harper kids going off. Look out. And that F-stick number 4. That's a dweeb. And then you've got them against Ohio State. Indiana's not going to be a pushover. Then you got Iowa, and then you've got Michigan State. They can have 5 or 6 losses there. If they started with an Illinois loss, that could throw them into a tailspin real quick. Because you go after us, and then you got to play Wisconsin, who doesn't want to lose 2 in a row. You've got Rutgers, who can surprise you if you're looking forward to the Ohio State game, which is a rivalry in itself. Pretty easy to skip over Rutgers at that point. And they've shown that they can beat people. Not consistently, but they can sneak up on people.
Are you ready for a real tinfoil hat thing here?
Uh-oh, here we go. I love tinfoil hats. Yeah,
so the Michigan postponing that game didn't come out until halftime of Illinois, Wisconsin. Did they watch the first half of that game and say they didn't want to play?
Well, Kofi broke the rib.
You figure Underwood would be in on that conversation, right?
Should be. Does the Big Ten do things the right way?
Hell no.
Exactly.
Michigan, actually, you know what probably happened? Michigan called the secretary at the Big Ten to deliver a message to the head of the Big Ten to then tell Josh Whitman, and then Underwood had to find out. Because they didn't even have enough nuts to say, like, call Illinois and be like, hey, we're going to have to call the Big Ten today. We just want to let you know what's kind of going on. No. Dude, I hated them before.
Who's
I'm on a heater.
Who's Michigan's head coach? It's
Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's kind of Big Ten royalty, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because he was on the Fab Five.
Fab Five team. So he's like a famous Big Ten athlete.
But I don't think his coaching style can get him the championship, if that makes sense.
But I do think him being who he is affords him a favor from the Big Ten.
He's more than just a second-year head coach in the Big Ten, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Because that's what he is.
And I don't think the Big Ten really likes Underwood.
No, because he just tells it like it is.
Exactly.
In the world of ego stroking.
And he's dialed it back a little bit this year.
If this Michigan game doesn't happen, I want Underwood to come out and hit the freaking dude with the chair from the Big Ten. And then I hope, are we going to have a Big Ten? Are we having conference tournaments?
Yes.
I hope we run into Michigan, and by that time, we just buzzsaw the shit out of them, beat them by 30, and make them like a 4 seed.
Yeah, I really hope Illinois gets like screwed down to the 3rd seed in the Big Ten tournament.
If that happens, it'll be like when D and Darren and those guys win the Big Ten tournament. It was just like, okay, well, I just hope this is a fun game to watch because I know it's not going to be a game.
Yeah. Could you imagine being like the Nebraska of the world that has to play Illinois in the first round?
Knowing that you canceled on them and that this is their time to just basically show you where your place is in the Big Ten.
Oh, that's yeah. I would pay money to be a fly on the wall when Whitman had to go in and tell Underwood Michigan canceled.
Do you though? I don't
Maybe
know.
you just start tweeting at Michigan basketball and they'll eventually block us.
Should we try to bully Michigan online?
Yes.
Playing Illinois?
Yes.
I don't know.
It would be fun to be blocked by a college team that I hate.
And that's the thing. I used to not hate Michigan until like 2 years ago.
Want to be blocked by?
Huh?
I think I'd rather be blocked by Iowa.
Well, we can start on them next.
Because, like, I was thinking about this last night because Wisconsin's kind of hateable.
Yeah.
Like, they got a bunch of guys that are they got hateable faces. They're old.
They're basically a semi-pro team.
Yeah.
They're like the Flint Tropics.
They're hateable.
They're way better at basketball.
But they're not Iowa hateable.
No, I despise Iowa.
Like, that.
I see Luka Garza, I just get pissed. But he's a great player, but I get pissed.
And my worst one is McCaffrey. When I see their head coach, I'm just like, I want to punch this dude in the suck hole. Like, I don't know what it is. He's very punchable.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm tweeting at them right now as we speak. We're going to start this. Do you want me to tag you guys in us?
Yeah, we need to figure out when the timestamp was we started talking about him being poons. And freaking, hey, Michigan, start listening at this time.
Yes.
I'm going to have my kids teach me how to do memes and GIFs. And I'm just going to GIF the Michigan Wolverines emblem and just all kinds of things, just beating the shit out of it.
I mean, I can teach you that. It's pretty simple. Like, there are websites that do all the work for you.
Yeah, there's an app too where it has the pictures there for you. You can just add your own.
I do face swap, but I don't know. Or reface or whatever it is. Dude, that's a lot of fun. And I look good as Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, there you go.
It flows well. I also wanted to see what it would look like if I was short and fat. So I put my face on that dude from Seinfeld with the bald spot because this is like thinning up, you know? So I was like, I wonder what it'd look like if I had like the peninsula look. So I put my face on that and I said, oh my God.
You talking bad about George Costanza right now?
There we go, that guy. Yeah, I've never even watched Seinfeld. I don't know, but I knew that he had a peninsula.
You never watched Seinfeld?
No.
Oh,
Because all the people like in my senior class, they were all just like, if you don't watch Seinfeld, it was like the hip thing to do. And all I cared
because it
about was
was cool.
Yeah. That was the Flapjack Friday crew watch Seinfeld.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
I get it now.
Yeah.
No one listening to this gets it, but
We get it.
as
We
Jacob.
got you.
McLaughlin does. But yeah, so I think, we need to call Michigan out. Just call it like we see it. Bullshit.
I hope I typed the right Michigan.
Bull
Okay.
shit. That's sign language for the hearing impaired that are listening to this.
If they duck Wisconsin too,
Yes. No, the big one will be if they duck Rutgers to get ready for Ohio State.
no, I think they could almost make the case. If they had to duck Illinois, they almost have a case to duck Wisconsin. But I think we all agree Rutgers is dangerous, but they're not.
They're not Wisconsin. They're not going to roll you to sleep and then beat you by 10. And you're like,
you know what? Michigan's going to make me root for Ohio State that game. They're going to make me do it.
I'm going to paint my chest.
And I hate Ohio State.
Buckeyes right here. Just Buckeye.
I fucking hate Ohio State. And they're going to make me do it.
And I'm good. I didn't realize how good that Ohio State coach was.
I know.
When they were talking about his stuff during that Illinois game, I was like, holy shit, that's respectable. That's more than respectable. That's damn good.
They had to move on from Hoopston.
Yeah.
To do.
Bad Mata, man. And you think about it, he kind of reshaped Ohio State because they weren't really anything before him.
My uncles played against Thad Matta in high school, and they all hate his guts.
That's what I've heard. I've heard people don't like him.
I think it was just he was really good.
Yeah. And so people despise you because you're good.
Yeah.
And is it also because Hoopston wore the Indiana striped pregame warm-up pants?
And they still do.
They still do.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a tradition thing.
Well, it's better than Oakwood where we wore the gray ones that went below our feet.
Oh, those. Steve, how in the hell? Steve, I wore those pants. How did they go below your feet? They would have been at your knees.
Good question.
You would have got my pair.
I don't know. I remember having to wear them and people probably don't know this, not the zip ones. It was the old snap ones.
The old snappers. Yeah, that was new when I was there, Steve. You might have worn my pants. How'd it feel?
Oh, he froze.
Motherfucker.
Froze.
Everybody froze.
Did you hear me?
All I remember saying is the snap ones.
Yeah. So I said, how did it feel to be in my pants, Steve? And then
I hope it was your pants. I hope it wasn't anybody else's. I don't know where those pants have been. Yeah, they were underneath our feet. You go for a layup and you'd slip and fall, and you're like, fuck this, and you throw it.
Well, it's just funny to see the uniform change. Because, so we have uniforms at Westville, which is a really hot topic right now for the girls. And they, hang down, to their knees. And then we don't even have the right size shorts. So some of my girls that would probably be wearing a extra small or a small have to wear smalls that were baggy to begin with. It's a touchy subject right now.
Old school jerseys, you mean?
I don't know if they would have had them when you guys were in school, but I know it's been a few years.
Yeah.
Well, for boys, let's roll up the shorts is coming back. Get the long shorts and roll them.
No, they don't even roll them now. They just make them short.
Yeah. Indiana, if you look at Indiana's shorts, they're all just mid-thigh.
Yeah. That's what all the guys want to wear is that mid-thigh look.
Which actually, in some uniforms, looks really fresh.
Yeah, it does.
Indiana looks really good like that. The Michigan uniforms, I know they got famous because of longer shorts.
Yes.
But the Michigan, any of the
traditional.
Yeah. UNC, I know UNC goes with the really tight fit now, but their shorter uniform looks really good.
Right.
That's really all I got.
All I know is Coach West, didn't you have to leave and we went over?
No. It's all good, dude. She ain't up yet.
God, I'm just making everybody significant others pissed off.
Dude, we're married. It ain't like it. Ooh. She actually knows that I really enjoy this, so she don't really bother me.
Yeah.
She'll get up, work out.
No, you want to know something funny? So, like, I got off work. I had to open this morning, and I thought I was going to have to wait till 9:30 because we normally do like a little meeting from supervisor to supervisor, or I have my supervisors do it. And today it was a dude, it's my best friend, and he comes in. And I was like, I don't have to talk to you about anything. And I didn't even give him a chance to answer. I just ran out. I was like, I have a podcast.
So you guys know how big it is for me to like I'm a gamer. Like that's my thing. And then we beat a team that we probably shouldn't have. And so now that's all I've watched is like girls basketball. And just one game because there isn't like there's multiple. Well, there is another game out there, but it's terrible. So it ain't like I'm gonna get anything out of it.
Hey,
what I find is interesting is all these teams. Steve, are you guys playing zones up there? Or are you guys playing man?
My team or teams we've played?
Just in your what you have seen.
I haven't seen much.
Okay, well,
now,
the one game you watched, did teams play zone or man?
Man.
Okay. Because down here, a lot of teams are playing zones. I think we're the only team playing man right now. Well, Bismarck played man.
So you're the wing T team of football. Like you're the one team.
Well, because everybody's worried about gas tanks. And Brad, I know we're supposed to do this podcast some point in time, but I'm getting shit on this sprint-based stuff now because now I'm actually getting to see it work in like a COVID world. People would freak out if they knew we haven't sprinted more than probably 5 lengths of the court all year. And my team was the fresher team.
Yeah.
On Thursday. Like, it's insane.
Like I said, everybody out listening, congrats Coach West and the team for beating a team they haven't beat since like 2007.
Yeah.
And I got to watch some of it.
I'm 1-0. As a girls basketball coach, I might as well just shut it down. Retire.
Yeah.
Go out on top.
Yeah. And I mean, it was a fun game. It was and like to watch Underwood like celebrate with his team because our girls were used to beating, there's a few lesser teams and like, they'd be happy, but it was like, oh, now we got to go play good team over here. And then the locker room was just so weird. So weird. Because I walk in and they're all just like sitting there and I'm like, oh, this ain't a victory. So then, because I could hear them and they were really quiet. And so as I made the turn, it was this fine moment. And then I just went straight Brad Underwood and jumped on like the bench and started like beating on the lockers. And all the girls like got up and started going nuts. And yeah, we got to learn our school song because that's not a thing. But I think we need to sing that.
Yeah.
I got to learn it too.
It's weird though, because like when we beat Westville my junior year, we were weirdly quiet after the game.
Yeah, because it was like, what just happened?
Yeah, like we don't win this game.
Yeah.
Like what's going on?
This is a weird moment.
Yeah. But
honestly,
I'm happy for you and I'm happy for your athletes. Like,
well, it was just a different atmosphere. So like everybody wants to know like how important sports are and shit like that. So our girls basketball, so our JV team, I played everybody. I had 3 girls that had never played basketball. I played everybody, and our JV team lost by 1. Okay, against their like first 5 because they didn't really sub too much. And then we win, and then our Scholastic Bowl team goes 3-0 that night, and it was just like this different aura in the school building. Like everybody was just like amped up, ready to go. And actually what was crazy was, Coach Goodlove, our principal, he knew that we had won. But everybody was like, well, how'd you guys do? And I was like, oh, we won. And they were like, oh, my God, congratulations. They go, who'd you play? Because they were thinking it was one of those teams. And I went, oh, we beat Bismarck. And they go, what? It was just like their whole like thing changed. And it was just kind of, I felt really good for my girls because they finally had success and like they were confident. And it's just it's something that sports do that, most people don't understand. And it's just, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it was tough for me to watch it on YouTube yesterday.
Yeah.
Watching the sophomores play who I don't know because I haven't seen them. I don't know.
But he's their coach.
Huh?
You're their coach. You just don't know who they are.
Well, there's two of us. There's the sophomore A coach. So I'm the sophomore B coach. But we're not going to have a sophomore B schedule, so we're both coaching the team. Kind of like there's no JV schedule, so the varsity JV are coaching the varsity.
Okay.
So I got to watch it. I'm like, oh my God, we have 15 kids. That was my first thought. I was like, we have 15 kids. Good Lord. And when we were up 30-9 at one point. I was like, oh,
right.
Okay. And we didn't get a chance to run an offense because we stole the ball and did fast breaks the whole time. And I was like, I'm sitting there on the chair, like pounded on the chair.
Yeah.
Like, I hate this so much. And then I had to watch the varsity after that on YouTube. And I'm like, this sucks so much.
Yeah. Well, you just want to be there, right? Like, it's just, even just I was trying to figure out, because they're only doing essential people in the gym, obviously, and stuff like that. But I was like, I'll run the Facebook Live for the boys game. What do you need me to do? I'll help. But I just wanted to be there. And then I watched it at home because they didn't have a job for me.
But yeah, that's the only thing. We got 16 games. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Between now.
Yeah. We have 8, but we're playing for a conference championship. It's 8 conference games for the championship.
We'll see. The DVC wasted no time. Now listen to this. Naperville North, DeKalb, and Naperville Central. Oh, it's going to be rough. That's big time now.
Yeah.
And then our first football game for Addison is Glenbard West.
Our first game's Fisher, but Bismarck's playing Maroa right off the bat. So Fisher's not bad. I think they were 7-2 last year, maybe 8-1.
Yeah, Glenbard West competes for the state title, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
They played the old school high-low U. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My linemen are going to complain. I don't care if they listen to this or not. They're going to complain, and I'm going to tell them to shut up. All my players listen to this. I keep forgetting that. They're like,
you're going to say,
podcast? No, I don't.
They're going to say, Coach Steve, love the Michigan segment, but screw you.
And I'm going to tell them to go run. Hold on.
No, don't do that, Steve. Don't do that.
I've gone away from that.
Go into the sprint-based side of things. Come on.
I want to. Like that. The old school is like, go run. But the other part of me is like, you know what? No, I've adapted. You know what? I'm just like, you're not playing. You're going to stand next to me and get me water with 4 ice cubes. That's what's about to happen.
Yeah, as someone who's currently blown their legs out doing too much cardio, don't make them run.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna get me water.
Yeah, everybody's like, well, then what do you do to punish them? And I'm like, I don't play them in the game.
Yeah.
Because ultimately so they know they're at practice. And I have a high expectation for practice effort. And then if you don't have that, then you just go home. And if you're going to be a problem, then you just don't play in the game, which then you're practicing essentially for nothing. And everybody's like, oh, well, don't take advantage of that. You want to know why? Because they know it's an expectation. And I think, oh man, we're really diving down another end, but I think people just set the bar way too low for kids. And the expectations are down here when the kids, if you give them this, they're going to do everything they can to hit it. But we're just so on the whole, this generation is different. They're soft. They're this, they're that. No, they aren't. You're ignorant, and you just need to find a new way to coach them. Because I mean, they're not. It's just you have to find a different way to reach them. That's part of being a coach. You have different personnel, so maybe you do some different things. But now you get a different personality, and you're just going to coach the same way.
That's why I am super excited for tomorrow because I get to be back on campus. But I'm also nervous because I haven't been there for a week and a half, and I just had COVID, so I'm probably going to be really nervous to be around people.
Oh, dude, as soon as you tell somebody you have COVID, they'll take 6 steps backwards. So if there's anybody you don't like, just tell them beforehand, hey, I had COVID. They'll run in the bathroom or something, especially where you're at. I mean, I had that happen and where I was at. They look at you like you're deaf.
Well, we just ordered good masks, with the filters.
The N95? Did you order an N95?
No, hold on. Can I reach it?
if he pulls out an N95.
No, if he
No.
pulls a dong mask.
It's going to be a dong mask. No, it has the little thing here where you put the filter in and you can move it.
That's, I think, what he was trying to accomplish. Have you actually taken it out of the package and put it on? Because I think that's the filtration system.
If I can get the fucker open.
He ain't even tried it on. He's going to pull it out and the thing's going to go.
It's got the little thing. And you can put the,
that's
the
not
filter.
really a filter. That's like an
No. You put the filter in here. It can be stuck in here. It's like a 5-layer filter. So you order it. It comes with like 30, and then you order a box of like 100.
Gotcha.
And I was like, if I can make people feel more comfortable, I'll get this, because that's the first thing I thought of was we gotta make sure people feel comfortable. Yeah, that was a struggle there.
I have not well, Brad knows how I feel about it since I've had it. And, we've had a nice discussion on my couch about it because I don't think, like, I'm not a naysayer by no means, but just some things just confuse the shit out of me. I haven't bought my own mask, but there's been 2 teachers that gave them out at Christmas. So I have a flaming tiger mask and I have like this like digital camo black, gray and white and orange mask with like the little vent on it. And so I coached in that one the last game, and I was like, do I just go get one of the nice like plain black Under Armour ones so that I look presentable and not like I'm like a digital camo Westville Tiger idiot?
Just get this plain black one too. There you go. Stretches. Here's your dong one.
I've ordered the Shiva 97, but they haven't sent it yet because they're on back order. That's the one that Saban has.
No, I will not wear an N95. That just looks awful. That just looks terrible.
Honestly, I think the best one is like you just go and they sell the surgical masks that are black.
Yeah.
I think that's really.
But don't you have to throw those away like after you wear them?
Yeah. Do you wash your mask after every time you use it?
Yeah, the ones I have here, you put them in the washer.
Do you wash it
every time?
No, you wash it like once a week.
No.
You're supposed to wash that like every day.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how I got COVID.
And that's like
well, I have a box of the blue ones. I throw those out and wear a new one. Then sometimes I have the cloth one. So if I wear that, I just come home and throw it.
Yeah. Early on, I would wear the same surgical mask a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm at work, I grab a new mask every day.
Yeah. Well, it's government. I mean, they just waste money.
So basically, you're telling me when I come home, I have to hand wash it.
Yeah.
You don't have to hand wash. I mean, you can wash it in the washing machine.
I am not running that washing machine every day.
If it's machine washable. Some of them are just hand wash only.
That's the cheapest shit I've ever heard. You're not going to run a washing machine?
Every day? No.
Dude, we got the washing machine with like the little top where it does like the little load.
Yeah.
You just throw it in there.
Because they take our water bill and divide up about the whole building. So it doesn't matter. Like, our water bill is like $70.
Then
that's bullshit anyways. You're already paying for other people's water usage.
Yeah, then use it some more. Like
you had like $5 extra divided amongst 150 people. Holy shit, I'm paying a Dogecoin.
Hey, that's the difference between me and getting my wings later.
No, those are some cheap ass wings.
No, if I was in a communal, like, do you have your own washer and dryer? But you split the water bill? Yep. Oh, I would just be running it empty.
This guy does laundry like 15 times a day.
Because ultimately, when you think about it, you divide that amongst everybody. How many people's in your building?
I don't know. There's 12 rooms.
12 apartments?
Yeah.
Water and sewer together?
Yeah.
And it's only $70?
Yeah, when there's less people here, it was down to like 40, and now every place is taken, so it jumped up to like 70, 75.
See, so you're already paying more anyways for other people. Why don't you get your money's worth?
Yeah. I'd be like bagging ice and selling it.
I'd get me a Brita filter and pour that in the ice cube chest and doing some shit.
Yeah, be making some money here. That's some bullshit. I'd be bringing people in to do their laundry.
Yeah, I would actually be like, you know what?
Free laundry.
Laundry pickup day. Just leave your laundry outside your door. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, I would run a wash and fold.
That's what you should have done during COVID, Steve. Shit.
Can't be touching people's stuff.
Why can't you? Wear a mask. Wear all your PPE.
While I have COVID or earlier in the year?
Either. Fundraiser. Just look like that guy.
Okay, I have a weird question. Because this came up the other day and I got called an idiot. Could you have a nanny? Like, not a nanny to, like, raise kids or anything, but somebody to, like, come in and clean your house?
I actually met somebody who was a nanny.
No, but, like, I couldn't deal with that.
Oh, you mean could I do that?
My wife couldn't deal with it.
I don't know if I could have somebody come in.
I could.
I don't like people touching my stuff. Like, don't come in and handle my clothes.
See, but there's a lot of shit there with that. Like, there's a lot of wasted time through different things. And I'd be like, but that's why, I mean, we got Roombas. Like, so to hire a nanny, like, to me, oh, I don't have to vacuum. I don't have to clean. If I could hire a chef, I would. I told you, Brad, Dogecoin goes big. We're on it, buddy.
Do you think they would build a recording studio for us?
Uniform. This is part of my uniform.
I have to wear that around the house?
Properly wear it. This guy's displaying it wrong. For the people that don't actually watch this, they just listen to it, they're going to be like, what are they laughing about? And I think I'm the only person from that Ohio State game that noticed that.
Oh, I noticed it. I tried to get a picture like 3 times, and they kept like sliding away from it right as I'd opened my phone.
And ever since then, I'm seeing more of it. And I'm like, oh, it's everywhere.
I mean, Corey Bradford retweeted me.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Because he said, man, I wonder what Coach Underwood said at halftime of the game. And I said, if you guys don't pick it up, we're all wearing these. And he put, I thought it was more like, you know, suicide, or like 2 suicides in a minute or something. And then he had to put line drills because in the PC world, he can't even call them suicides anymore. Yeah. And so,
or Z's
line. And he put like the laughing, crying face like 3 or 4 times. And my day was made when that happened because it's Corey Bradford, and I grew up and I love Corey Bradford.
I was about to say, he's a good Twitter follow.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he's really active on Twitter. So is Mike LaTulip.
Oh, LaTulip's awesome. Sean Harrington's also good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jesus.
For the 3rd go-around, Dong Talk.
That will forever be on here now, so I'm prepared.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm going to pee my pants, so give me a sec.
Do I need to do my break video?
No.
But yeah.
I don't even know what we're going to talk about next. Now I'm just all over the place.
Do we really want to talk Illinois football? That will take us into the 3.5-hour mark.
Was there even an Illinois football? I don't know any news.
I'm just excited about the whole mantra that we kind of got going with that.
Well, when you guys bring up Brad Underwood, I'm like,
you know, Nick Allegretti made it to the Super Bowl last year, and Lovie Smith never said shit to him, and he actually played for Lovie. Brett Bielema puts out a video for him. That's kind of cool, in my opinion.
He and Brad Underwood are good for Illinois.
They are that Midwest blue-collar kind of personality. And I have a lot of respect for that. Because, like, Bielema, like, he has this freaking... It's like a southern draw, but like this deep... I don't even know. Just his voice, like, it just sounds like you're going to be a good football coach. And I don't even know why I say that. But it's just the way that he talks about everything, and then... Like, you see, all of our staff was there to basically make a 1-minute video for Nick Allegretti and Greg Lewis, former Illini, who's a wide receiver coach for Kansas City. And it's like, you got the whole staff together for that. Not just even a cheap tweet. And they put his like picture in the Kansas City Chiefs uniform up above, and it said like, "Good luck, Nick."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? You're getting it. Like, that is the small things that mean a lot for Illinois fans. And unbelievable marketing for your football program.
Well, it's good recruiting.
Yep.
And I thought
And he's an Illinois boy, because I watched Nick Allegretti play in high school at Lincoln Way East.
I thought of this yesterday. Like, I'm glad he took a while to hire his staff, because I'm sure that was a part of it. Like, hey, if you come to Illinois, it's about Illinois. Like, this is what we're going to do.
Yep.
So I'm glad that he took a while.
It'll
Some
be
people hire like,
because I think it'll be interesting to watch his staff interact. I bet you they'll have some bumps, but I bet you they will be almost like U of I basketball staff.
oh, I'm sure. And Bielma's always at the games, like watching the basketball team.
Yeah. He is, as much as I was like, no, I'm like, yeah, this is badass. We're talking about how he did that 1-minute video for Allegretti yesterday, wishing him good luck in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he played in the Super Bowl last year, and we didn't see shit about it.
No, because Lovey was too into himself.
Yeah.
Didn't care.
Poor Texans.
So he had the entire staff get together. He said ILL. The whole staff says I. And then Allegretti retweets it. Now all of a sudden, oh, this guy cares about guys he didn't even coach. Because Allegretti played for Lovey.
Allegretti was recruited by Beckman, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, like
Poor guy.
He was a 4-year guy at Illinois.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
You can definitely tell he's just a professional, like, college football coach.
Do you think that's coming from the SEC, even though he was just at Arkansas? Like, he sees, like, this is the shit we have to do to compete with an Alabama.
Well, no, I think I think at Alabama he saw, like, in the SEC in general, he saw, like, how the peak of it runs.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, he saw the nuts and bolts.
But at the same time, like, he just hired a guy who his only job is to work on, like, player likeness, and like increasing the player's social influence, getting them paid off of their own like likeness.
Yeah.
And that's not going to take place for 2 more years.
Right.
But he's already taking care of that. He's like, we need this guy in here now so that when we have players in the door, he can start to develop some of this stuff to where when they can cash in on their likeness, we're ready for it.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you practice it for 2 years, you'll be really damn good by the time it's go time.
And some of it's coaching. Like, you're coaching these guys to be like, listen, this is what your Instagram profile needs to look like.
If you want to be picked up by an NFL team, you can't have crazy things.
Exactly.
Well, that's where he learned that in the SEC, and he learned that from Bill Belichick. I guarantee you, when he was with Bill Belichick, he saw into the future of, like, this is what you have to prepare for.
Well, there is the Patriot way, right? And if Bill Belichick will draft you, any coach in the NFL will draft you. Let's be honest, the Patriots have a different standard. And it wears on people, but they do have they are one of, I think, 4 teams that has a handbook.
A handbook. It's funny because that seems like such a nerdy, like.
Yeah. The pocket protector for the team.
Yeah. I don't know. It's exciting, though, to just have somebody that seems to genuinely care about the entire university.
Yeah.
And whether or not that's real or he's just doing it to be like.
I'm not Lovie Smith.
Or just to be successful and then leave for another program.
Yeah.
But, like, I hope Illinois has the sense to pay him to stay.
If we get to that point, which I think we will. to be honest with you. I could see us being competitive year one because he's got enough guys that are going to look and be like, okay, we have these guys. What can we do with this? Rather than this is what we're going to do, Tampa 2 or die, and move on.
And it seems like he's not going to micromanage because he's kind of like, I want to be a 3-4, but guess what? This guy knows this. If this is what we can do, is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to sit there and say, you got to do this, you got to do this.
You look at all the starters that we have coming back. Like we make fun of Wisconsin's basketball team with all the old guys, but like you don't understand how big that is because you've got dudes that are still climbing to their peak, like physicality wise, and now they have an extra year.
Yeah, because your physical peak as a man happens at 25.
Yeah. Like so with testosterone and stuff.
A bunch of 23, 24-year-olds on your offensive line.
Yeah,
And I don't know if this is against the rules, but like, do you remember when Owen Carney, I think, said he was coming back? He said that Ryan Walters basically told him, like, I'm going to make you a lot of money in the NFL if you come back. And I'm like, kind of freaky because it seems like something you shouldn't be able to say to somebody. Like it skirts a line.
Right.
But at the same time, I like that swagger of like, come back. We're going to show you how you're supposed to play D-line.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like how you just put that up in the corner.
Well, because there's a logo spot, so I can click on that. Because if I click on the overlay, it does this.
Yeah.
And actually, I kind of like that.
Yeah, just keep that, honestly.
Can we make that the background? Can we make that the middle of the Coach Steve show instead of a mic? Just have his head as the mic head?
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on.
Because we'll know what he's doing.
Yeah, we really
see the head.
I just need to see the Jerry curl all the time.
That's too much.
Steve, that's a power trip.
You don't micromanage that guy. You don't micromanage all of us.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying.
We'll get it figured out eventually.
That's all I can do.
Hey, I didn't bother to check the thumbnail from last week. How'd we look?
I don't give a shit. That's how I felt.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
What the hell, Steve?
I had COVID. I didn't care.
Well, you know what? I'm taking time out of my day to do this. And
get some views.
Yeah.
Get my influence out in the world.
Don't the George Costanza thing. Get that out of there.
It's
you don't know. I know it's Mike Leach. I know it's Mike Leach.
Yeah, don't you worry about what I'm doing.
We just lost Jacob. Our one viewer's gone. I'm just kidding.
No, we got two. We got two for some reason.
Oh my God.
All right.
See, now I forgot what the next one was. Do we just want to talk about Wentz?
Oh Jesus, we're still at this.
Yo, yeah, we never even got into this.
So
I
much
think it was just this and the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So ESPN came out and was like, there are basically 5 suitors for Carson Wentz. And the top 2 is Indianapolis and our former team, the Chicago Bears. They're reportedly asking multiple first-round picks for the second worst quarterback last year in QBR.
Yeah, Jacob's here for good. He's not leaving.
Insert Jordan Belfort gif. I'm not fucking leaving.
Oh.
So are we officially like if the Colts sign Wentz, are we jumping ship to another team?
Can I read this
We
tweet?
will read if the Colts get him, we will all have to write a letter of resignation to the Indianapolis Colts and read it.
And I have to apologize to Big Cat because I tried to bring him along, and it's like, nope. You have to.
No, that's the kiss of death. If you bring Big Cat along, like the quarterback play is going to suck. It's just a thing.
Well, can I just read this tweet? I thought it was kind of funny this morning. Trading for Carson Wentz when Deshaun Watson is available is a little like trading up to draft Mitchell Trubisky when Deshaun Watson is available. #Bears.
Both are true statements.
It's very true. Very true. So was Carson Wentz in the Jared Goff draft?
Yes.
So. Yeah.
Yes. He went second overall, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He had one good year.
Somebody, I got weirdly into Colts Twitter, which there isn't very much. I don't think the state of Indiana has a lot of Twitter.
Indiana's basketball.
Yeah. But there's a lot of Marcus Mariota talk, which I don't really want to see either.
He fits that system better.
But would you rather have Marcus Mariota or would you rather have Derek Carr?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr would fit in there pretty well.
I think either one of them would fit. I think Frank Reich is a good coach, and he would figure out how to use him.
If we get Carson Wentz, I'm writing, I don't even know, a dissertation.
I'll be a Texan fan. That's what will happen.
Oh.
No, I'm going to be the new expansion team.
I'll be watching Canada football instead.
When does the XFL come back? That's what I'll do.
Oh, not till 2022 or something.
I'm going to tell you right now, the NFL needs to take note of their production stuff where they got to listen to like what the review people were talking about. Because, I mean, other than them saying like, hey, you really screwed up that call, but let's just go ahead and make this just twice as wrong. I don't think the NFL wants you to listen because I think there's some shit in the NFL.
There's some calling in from New York.
Yeah. Hey, move that spot up. We need a first down here. Our viewers are dropping.
Yeah. Hey, Patrick Mahomes is seriously concussed, so we're just going to take him off the field, and that way he can play next week.
We're going to hire Tim Beckman to run our concussion protocols.
Tim Beckman is the injury sustainment quality control guy.
You want to put Patrick Mahomes on the ER? Talk to Tim Beckman for us.
Yeah.
I'll take care of that for you boys.
What is the most like hurt you've ever been by sports?
I would say concussions.
No, not like physically, but like you're watching sports and like it hurts your soul.
I can't say his name, so we're not gonna. I'll have to put myself in a timeout if I say his name.
You're just talking about all kinds of things.
Yeah, it could be anything. Not exactly when you're playing, but like you're watching one of your teams.
I mean,
because I have a pretty good one.
You go first.
I got to see what you're.
I've been a huge Cardinals fan my whole life. I love the Cardinals. I usually go to like 3 or 4 games a year. I go to watch the Cardinals and the Marlins. And Trevor Rosenthal walks 2 batters and then hits Giancarlo Stanton with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball in the head. And then Mike Matheny leaves him in the game and gives up a grand slam. Bottom of the 9th. Like, I remember feeling like so physically beat down by that game. And I don't know if it's just because it's baseball and it takes 4 hours. But like by the end of that game, I was just like, everything in my life sucks.
Okay, I got it. Because I was front row for this. The double doink in that playoff game, Chicago and Philly.
It just rips your heart out.
Because as he's going out onto the field, didn't he kick the first one and make it? And they called a timeout and iced him? Yeah.
No, he missed.
Oh.
I thought he missed.
No, he made the first one.
Oh,
And then I was like,
tried to blank that out.
and comes in. I mean, it was a perfect make right down the middle. And then there's a timeout. And so you're sitting there and it's like, oh shit. Well, he already made it. Now all hell's going to break loose. And yeah. You know the guy who really got famous for like doing the whole like screaming video at Cody Parkey? I'm pretty sure I was within like 10 feet of him walking down that sidewalk. Because I heard some guy like ranting. I was like, what in the hell's going on?
He's a Barstool guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he runs the like Chicago branch of Barstool.
Yeah. So I heard that.
Actually went to the U of I.
No shit.
He's a big Illinois sports fan too.
That's why there's an Illinois, I think.
What?
That's why I think there's an Illinois Barstool. I think that's why.
I think there's a Barstool for almost every college.
There
that was
is.
like one of the first ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think one of the lowest lows to the highest highs that I've ever experienced, if we're going through that, was the Illinois-Arizona game. Honestly, my eyes were welled up with 3 minutes to go in that game because I was like, it's over. And I love this team. And it's over. And then it happened. And they came back. I don't think I've ever experienced that low and then that high.
That was the greatest regret of my fan career was we shut the game off and went to Walmart. And I remember for some reason I went over to the radios in Walmart and turned one on, and it was the end of the game. And I had to listen to it on a Walmart radio. Get it? And I just remember being like, what did I do?
You went to Walmart. We were shooting baskets at the park, and then John Joseph's parents come outside and like, guys, you need to come back in here and look at this. And we go running back in.
I actually so Coca-Cola came out with the commemorative edition of the 6-pack bottles, and I drank a Coke before every game with the Illinois like 100th year anniversary on it. I'll never forget. I was looking at the last bottle and I was like, not even gonna be able to drink it. And then, there was 2 bottles left, and I was like, shit. And then it happened, and I was like, Actually, I think I did actually cry because I was like that emotionally invested into that team. Like now I'm an adult, but I was at that age where it was like I was just out of high school. So it was like I was super emotionally invested in that team. Like I had watched those guys. I had been to every orange and blue scrimmage and sat on the front row next to the court. And yeah. So like I remember them as freshmen. I remember James Augustine like walking by and asking like, what do I do for an autograph? And D Brown like looking at him and going, will you just sign your name, idiot? Like I was right there as they were having the conversation walking past me on the court, and so that was a big moment for me. That was like the highest high and the lowest low, like experience in one. But like the rip my heart out moment was the Bears game because we hadn't.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that Bartman stealing the foul ball still hurts the soul.
Is that yours?
But you had a whole other game to play after that. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, but you just kind of knew that was it. The doink hurt because I was like, we're fine, and doink. But then a high was the Cubs winning the World Series. That was heart-wrenching.
I don't like the Cubs, but I do have 2 World Series Cubs bulbs from Hallmark, the red and the blue one, just because that's history. Doesn't matter if you like them or not. Like, that's history.
Like, watching that last out, watching them slip when he was throwing the ball, when Bryant was slipping. I was like, that's it. We're going to lose. He's slipping. And he almost didn't catch it. And then when they did, I just fell to the floor. I stayed up for that. I fell to the floor. And I was like, it happened. I was in shock.
That was one of those moments that I think brought fans back to baseball. Some fans back to baseball was because, and then a lot of non-Cub fans, especially the Cub fans were watching, but a lot of non-Cub fans sat through that rain delay to watch that.
Oh, I did.
I did. And I hate the Cubs. I could really care less about baseball, if we're being honest. But I stayed up to watch that because that was something that, well, I don't know if we'll ever experience a drought like that. Like, you think about it, like, hell, even the Marlins won a couple World Series, you know.
Pittsburgh, they're going through one.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember Hibbett Sports was closed in Charleston there. And then when they won, a kid I had coached worked at the T-shirt printing shop by Casey's, actually, there in Charleston. Sends me a text saying, hey, we're printing them right now. Drive to Hibbett's now. So I had to drive to Hibbett's at like midnight. And they opened just to sell the Cubs stuff for cheap. Like, I got that hoodie for $25, like that World Championship hoodie.
Oh, wow.
that's cool.
And that town is a Cardinals town, and they hated it. Like, but that was
No.
I just fell to the floor. I couldn't believe it.
It's funny because, like, there's something about baseball that really, like, it'll rip your heart out. But when you win, it's the best feeling on earth. Because, like, in 2011, I'm a freshman in college, and my best friend in our dorm was the biggest Cubs fan I've ever met in my entire life. And, like, that year, the Cardinals were bad for most of the year. And then, like, started to get hot. And I told him, I was like, well, this is kind of what the Cardinals do. Like, they'll sneak into the playoffs on the very last day. Yeah. And then they snuck in on the last day. And then just giving him shit, I was like, yeah, well, now that they're in, they're going to win it.
Because why not? What's the point of working that hard?
Yeah, exactly. So then, like, Game 6 happens, and, like, halfway through Game 6, I'm like, fuck this, because we were watching it together, and I went to my room. And I'm watching it in my room because I couldn't deal with Evan talking any more shit about the Cubs. So I sit down, and they start the comeback, and then when Cruz comes in and that ball goes over his head at the end of the game, I ran down that hallway, and it was pretty much out of a scene of WWE. Like, I took a chair and smacked Evan across the back with it. I was like, fuck you. I told you.
Never. You know what? Now I remember Illinois beating Ohio State. I was in college in football when we beat number 1 Ohio State, because I went to all those games too. That was probably the highest high. Because I'll never forget my buddy that I was going to school with was an Ohio State fan. And he was sitting in there and he'd go, Ohio State! Like, for every good thing that they did. And then I'll never forget, like, basically ripping my door off the hinges. And I did the clap and I went, fuck you! You know.
Yeah.
Big things. But that one was like one of those where I got like teary-eyed just because it was like, and that was a fun team. That was a fun team. God, that was a fun team.
I do a podcast with a guy that likes Ohio State, so my background's always Juice Williams with that score. And I'm like, oh, hey, that's the last time I could be proud of that.
And the way that we won it too, it was like by home runs.
Yeah, didn't Rashard Mendenhall broke a long run?
And then we like hit like 3 like mega passes.
Yeah,
I think is what it was. Because it was like, oh, Juice Williams finally didn't throw one through the uprights of the field goal post. Go us.
he threw the fastest 5-yard out route. It was like a 98 mile an hour fastball all the time.
Yeah. Could you imagine trying to catch that?
I have another sports moment to piss Brad off. Watching that Game 7 of Kobe's last finals against the Celtics.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt. But watching the Celtics beat them the year before.
2 years before.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because
That was pretty sweet.
Because the Lakers had to beat down on the Magic. That was a soft final.
This one will really piss Steve off, but he knows that he has to respect it. But watching LeBron beat the Golden State Warriors with the Cavs, that was the only respectable one I'll give him. But it was very respectable because
did you notice how the internet just froze?
They were
My internet froze when you started talking about it.
Oh, but but they were. That's
the only one I can give him credit for. But thank God Kyrie was scoring 50 a game.
I fucking knew it. I knew it. I was sitting here waiting.
But for the city of Cleveland, was
that. The city of Cleveland needed that.
Moment.
Yeah, Cleveland needed that.
No, I had to say something, but that was a moment. I didn't watch any of it, and then I was like, "Oh shit, he's made it this far. This is pretty impressive." Because I knew the Warriors were good, and I think that was like the last actual NBA game I've watched.
I have to give him. I have to tell Brad. I have to give LeBron credit for that one. That one, I sit there and go, "Okay, yes, like good for Cleveland." That was a good basketball win.
What we don't remember is Indiana damn near eliminated them from the playoffs that year. I was at Game 4 in Indianapolis, sitting up above the Cleveland bench.
That was Paul George was there, right?
Yeah.
Paul George, Roy.
No. This was Oladipo. Oladipo was there. It was Oladipo, Miles Turner.
That was when he was on Miami, I think. That Indiana team when they had to play when LeBron was in Miami, right?
Paul George was there then. Oladipo was after Paul George.
I could have sworn because I remember that Indiana team was like the best defensive team in the NBA.
Dude, they beat Cleveland by like 30.
Yeah, that was back when Derrick Rose was on the Bulls and stuff. I think that was way back.
Yeah, no, me and my wife, I mean, we've only been together 6 years, and we went to that game together.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was some good Indiana teams back in the day.
Well, not even. I mean, that was him. So is Miles Turner, who's still on the Pacers. He was second year, maybe. I had a Miles Turner like T-shirt, Old Hickory shirt. But
best forms in the NBA.
Yes, and. Yeah, that was I remember he came down and like hit the game winner with like 3 seconds left because Indiana had just won. And of course, dude, to go watch a game in Indianapolis for the Pacers, especially against LeBron, is quite the experience. But you also pay the LeBron price. Because, I mean, we were looking at like $175 a ticket, something like that. But I can say I wish I could have seen like Jordan play. So to not go see LeBron play is kind of like I need to go see LeBron play. Like I've got to see Tom Brady play. I'd love to see Tiger Woods hit a golf ball. Like it's just like those things, you know. Yeah. Like I want to go see Mahomes with the Chiefs. Like that's a big one for me. Because I think that he will be, if he can stay healthy, which I think that he will. His trainer is kind of like TB12, but better, in my opinion. Like he'll be around a while and he'll unseat Tom Brady, but getting to see Tom Brady and then like, you know, he throws a football to a field worker because they waved at him. They said, "Hey, Tom," and he waved at him, throws him the football that he was going to come out and warm up with. And the guy goes to throw it back and he said, "Nah, man, just keep it." Pretty cool fucking moment. And you don't see that. Like that shit you don't see. That's not on camera. That's like the JJ Watt shit that they make popular now. I watched Tom Brady do it back in 2005. And told the dude to keep the ball.
Yeah, 2005 before he was really.
Yeah, it was the 1 year. So when they won it those 3 years, it was the 1 year they didn't win it. So I did get to see like Brian Urlacher play. And Lance Briggs, like pretty badass stuff, to be honest. Like you sit there and you think about the people you've got to watch play. It's pretty cool.
That's why I'm glad I got to see Kobe play before he was done in
Yeah,
Indiana.
that would be something to see. And you
Because
would have
that's when he hurt
paid
his
Kobe
ankle.
Price. You would
Well, that's when
did
he
you
hurt
pay
it.
Kobe Price?
Yeah, well, that's when he hurt his ankle too, and he wasn't supposed to play. And he decided to play the first half. And he said the reason why I played was because these people in Indiana paid money to come watch.
Yeah.
Because there was a ton of Lakers fans there.
Yeah,
Like
because how many Lakers fans from Indiana can get to LA?
And that's when Steve Nash was on the team and Dwight Howard. So I got to see them play.
So you got to see like the worst Lakers team.
But that was when they were starting to play well at that point. This was later on in the year. But yeah, like I get to see old, but just the fact you get to see Steve Nash stand there, you get to see Dwight Howard dunk a basketball, you get to see Kobe make a shot, like was fun. And the fact that he came out and said I had to play because people paid money for this, like that's just a newfound respect of like you're not gonna load manage like Kawhi Leonard, like you're gonna play no matter what.
Could you imagine showing up and getting like tickets to go see the Spurs play and they rested Parker, Duncan, and Ginobili all on the same damn night? And then they still somehow beat your team and you didn't even get to watch them play.
No, I think
beep, beep.
The one I never got to watch play that I really wish would be Steve Nash.
Like Phoenix Suns, Steve Nash.
Yeah, no, I want like Steve Nash when Amari Stoudemire was there.
Steve Nash with Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh, we're going way back.
Yeah.
To the map.
That was a 2K team that was unbeatable.
Oh, I'm sure.
Shoot threes all day. I won $25 in a basketball tournament because I used the Mavericks. And they just stroked. You couldn't stop them. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're going to guard Dirk Nowitzki. Hello, Steve Nash.
Well, that was like in the NCAA football. You couldn't beat Florida on one of them, and one of you couldn't beat Oregon. Like Chip Kelly, Oregon was off limits because that triple option was unstoppable.
I remember it was like NCAA. I can't remember what it was, but Chris Leak was the quarterback, and like Florida was ranked like 5th or 6th on the game, and they were better than everybody. That was when they had Aaron Hernandez and all those guys. I was like the number 3 player in the country. Actually, on NCAA football, I'd put up 84, 85 points a game.
Playing online?
Yeah, just go hurry up, no huddle. I also allowed like 60 points a game. But I played the number 1 guy. I'll never forget this. I'm going to let my dogs out into the thing here.
So it's like Coach Diggs. Coach Diggs, they give up 60 points, but they're going to score 70.
Coach Doug's air raid.
Oh my God.
That entire thing, all I did was think about you. When Big Cat's doing the air raid stuff, I was like, I hope Steve's watching this.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget I was playing the number 1 guy, like on the leaderboards. Me and him are going at it. I'm going no huddle, straight down the field, score in like 40 seconds. He sends me a message. I'll never forget it. And he goes, well, that was bullshit. Watch this. And I was like, the hell does he mean? He was playing as Ohio State. He put Ted Ginn in at quarterback. And then I'm looking at this 5-wide set. And then all of a sudden the quarterback goes out in motion. There's no quarterback. And when he snapped the ball, it was a glitch, and it directly snapped the ball out to the wide receiver. I lost by a touchdown. I couldn't stop it, but he couldn't stop me.
So you couldn't go into like a quarterback spy?
No, because that would have been linebackers in the middle of the field. It motioned the quarterback clear out to the outside wide receiver and was a direct snap. And so he had trips, motioned the quarterback out, quads, and direct snapped it all the way out there.
So he broke the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have rage quit.
Of course, I was throwing shallow crosses all day on him. He couldn't stop it.
No, it's shallow cross, shark wheel, plays unstoppable.
689 hook.
Yeah.
I like how they have made the game a lot more like runner, like with Madden, you can run the ball a lot more, and you need to be able to run the ball more.
Yeah. Madden has – wait, we haven't even brought up they're bringing back NCAA football.
Yeah, my wife just woke up, so.
Oh, game over. But NCAA football
we can end on NCAA football.
Yeah, well, no, I'm excited, but I knew it was going to happen because they're hurting for money right now.
Well, they're hurting for money, and now they're going to start paying athletes for their likeness.
Right. COVID brought back NCAA football, which I think is the bigger victory here.
Yeah, no,
Online
500,000
leagues
people died.
now taken off.
Yeah, 500,000 people died, but it was worth it because we got NCAA football back.
As fans say, it was a small price.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I did turn that on yesterday. I turned on the 360 yesterday and started playing NCAA. I was like, all right, start playing again.
Dude, if they come out with like the college basketball games too.
The freshman.
The last one they ever made where John Wall was on it.
That's unstoppable.
And you couldn't play as Kentucky. It wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
Or was it Ohio State when they had Odin on there? That was a good team.
I have 2K. Yep, that's the one I have. Yeah, that one's hard to find. eBay, $150.
Was that 2K8?
Yeah.
Did you have the one with Illinois?
Yeah.
Back then? Oh, that was an.
I had the one with. Actually, I know the dude that was Mr. Blue Hands, and he was on the game. NCAA March Madness 06.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
I also have the one with.
He was like, "Come into the house of pain, I dare you," and he's like beating his hands together. Yeah, Caesar was actually the DJ at my wedding.
Do you remember the dancing chefs in the Orange Crush?
Yes. Did you know that they were actually Eagle Scouts?
Yeah.
He was the head camp counselor at Camp Drake.
Yeah. Yep. And he kept the little Illinois thing to a secret. Then we found out, and we busted his ass. We're like, "Hey, hold on,
we know you."
Wait just a minute, Weber Grill guy.
Yeah, I remember because there were a couple games where they snuck like that entire chef's crew into away games.
Yes, they would take off the opposing team's like shirts and go like nuts in the nosebleeds.
Yeah, and they were wearing like their full chef's outfit.
And we almost always did that to Iowa. We'd do it to Northwestern too. Jacob remembers Caesar because Jacob was with me when we met him.
Where did you meet him?
At the Fithian bar.
What?
Swear to God.
Billy Bob's?
We talked Illinois sports for probably 4 hours. And then he goes, "I got something to show you." He was like, "You're a big Illinois fan?" I said, "I'm one of the biggest." And he goes, "That's me." And he slid it over, and it was Mr. Blue Hands. And I was like, motherfucker.
Oh. You know how bad I wanted Hulk hands after that?
Yeah. I've actually wore them.
Wait, the blue hands?
Yeah.
He
still has them. He still has them.
God.
We need to move back to Champaign or something.
Well, he told me like when they got to winning, like he wasn't at one game, and like D Brown and Darren Williams approached him and was like, "Hey, what's going on? Like it was weird not having you there. What's going on?"
Whoa.
Yeah. Like he was as important to them as they were to us.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. Did I ever tell you my mom, James Augustine, was their like student worker for her department?
Yeah, there you go. McLaughlin went to his house and played poker because he has poker nights.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's the coolest dude ever, dude. Has a huge heart. Does everything. He's like the head of the Toys for Tots in Champaign.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure his memorabilia thing's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Well, that's a good thing to end on. That's a good podcast ender.
3 hours later, that's a good way to
Guys, actually, I thought this one was really good.
Yeah.
And it all started with the dong mask.
You know what came out of that? Someone's got a rant to start the show every time. I've had one. You've had one. They were both good shows. Steve, you have to find something to rant about the next podcast. And it has to be phallic mask based.
I have to slip the dong in there somewhere.
Yes. Stop showing
The dong.
You know what? You wear something ridiculous like this, you deserve to go down in podcast history.
Joe Rogan, if you're listening, could you put this on your podcast and shame him?
See, at least McLaughlin loves it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have to tweet at Michigan basketball every day.
Yes, that will start happening.
At least 3 times a day.
Through them. Yeah. I'll do it when I wake up. And then hopefully we'll be blocked. What?
Indiana just beat Iowa.
Nice.
67-65.
Nice. Nice.
It's a good day, folks. We're
All right,
supposed
everybody.
to be the Hoosiers, but screw the Hawkeyes. Like, I don't, yeah.
Yep.
Deuce.
Thanks for listening.